Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and last time, spoiler alert, we had what was, by some accounts, perhaps even many accounts, one of our best runs ever. It was a surface run, and we had not been having a lot of luck with those as of late, so that was a big pick-me-up to complete one of those, as decisively as we did, no less, and using the new hidden aspect on the skull, and it was a lot of fun. We did upgrade it a lot, but that was in part because it looked like it was going to be a lot of fun, and it did live up to my expectations, so that was really encouraging. As for this go-round, well, the blades are the bonus weapon, and you don't really need to convince me to take these guys, because it is, generally speaking, my favorite weapon, particularly with the aspect of Malunui, although maybe the aspect of Hell might be fighting for that title. We could afford to upgrade this for what I think would be the last time it would cost all of our silver, although I think we might be about to go to the underworld on this run, because, well, that would be an opportunity to maybe pick up even more silver. I think our agenda this go-round may be to circle back over here to the Vow of Rivals, and perhaps activate that 2 times over. Now, unfortunately, the bonus enemy would be Eris, and not really looking to go back up on the surface for this run, because I kind of feel like it could be a good stopping point, or good pausing point, I should say, for our surface runs right now, while we will very soon be in the place where we're waiting for the next update to come out. So I think for that reason, we go one more run down below the surface, try to check out the new Scylla rival fight, which I believe we have yet to see. Maybe we did it and I just completely forget about it. Hopefully not. But that may be a first-time experience for us then. And obviously, if we can get another successful run defeating Kronos, that would be fantastic. Then after that, I'm thinking we might transition back over to Chaos Trials while we are waiting for the next update to come out, which will, I believe, be the full release, although we have yet to get a sense of when that might happen. As for what, if any, other things we'd like to do in preparation... Oh, I think I forgot to talk to Skelly at the end of our previous run.
How is the morale amongst all your disciples recently, Commander? Prometheus and Typhon present imposing threats that may shake even the greatest resolve.
Yeah, they're fine. Just look at them, brave as you're gonna get. No matter what catastrophe should come to pass, it's just another night to us here.
All right.
We're trying to prevent catastrophe, not let it become the norm.
True.
Well, please let me know if anything changes. We need you all at your best.
Hear that, you slackers? Better bring your best or else.
Is this guy a special shade? Looks pretty normal to me.
Welcome, everyone, to the unseen.
Oh. That nervous look. Oh, what is this? Hold on. Where did this come from?
The moon this eve is nowhere to be seen. Her light but temporarily extinguished, so that soon it may shine bright once more with newfound strength and possibility.
Huh.
Our cycle begins anew.
Is there any significance to that? Does that mean anything in-game, mechanically? Do we see a moon here?
Whichever way I choose, I can prevail. But where to focus next?
Because the little dialogue that we were just hearing seemingly was right next to this spot, which made me think this might have been the thing that it was kind of, sort of, referring to. I mean, I guess that is a new moon, or nearly a new moon there. I honestly don't remember if that is always the case, or if that is legitimately something that was used to match up with that dialogue we were just hearing. Sorry, Skelly. I swear I didn't mean it. As for other things we might want to do, I think I was just taking a quick look at some of these guys, which don't seem like huge difference makers, but every once in a while, getting one more of a given type of boon is the key number you need to reach the threshold for an infusion, or it just makes an infusion a little bit stronger still. So it's not a usually not a game changer, but it might every once in a while be useful. And I think I was kind of taken aback by the S scales for the fishing rod upgrade, since that is something you only get on the summit on the surface, and that means those are pretty rare, pretty hard to come by. We have accumulated a decent number of them now, though, so maybe we feel a little bit better, a little more willing to spend some of those now.
Yeah, juice that baby up.
So we can juice that baby up. Because at first it was like, we might have had just barely enough to get that upgrade, but would probably prefer to save those resources for potentially bigger, more impactful things later on. Now, with a little more resources to spare, and the olives, that's what? Olympus, not the summit, so it's a little bit easier to get those, although we don't have quite as many of them. We might have some planted right now. Oh! Well, we did now fully upgrade all of the gathering tools, which I suppose makes sense that was a prophecy, although I honestly didn't remember that. What was that? Well, this is what I'm coming for. Oh, it gives us shadow, I think is what that is. I do not remember where we usually get that. You might be able to craft it at the cauldron, although it requires some resources that are somewhat hard to get to make it. Daughter of the God of the Dead shall improve each of her reagent gathering abilities, including all the tools revealed in the silver pool.
The tools of the unseen were bound to grow strong.
Indeed. Alright. So, enough dilly-dally. Just double-check real quick. Think it's okay going with the gold purse to lead things off again. I'm thinking we're going down this time round, mostly because I don't believe we've seen Super Scylla, though maybe my memory is just failing me here. We'll use you as the bonus weapon with our now fully upgraded aspect of Mythologically. As for our plan, well, I mean, we did happen across a kind of unplanned, impromptu Aphrodite attack with Freeze from Demeter, which is our usual go-to combo on the previous run, so I mean, that is perhaps what we're going to go for this time as well. I suppose,
What is the will of night?
technically speaking, we do not need to put on this much fear, especially not when we're going down, unless if we feel so bold as to add one more fear, then we would be at that 8 threshold where you see Conquer Underworld with 8 fear is a threshold. So we get a lot from the double rival. We get a little bit from these guys, making our enemies tankier. Is there anything else we could upgrade? Or, well, upgrade is maybe not quite the right word. Upgrade our enemies with. The wards is a little bit annoying in the underworld because the rats in Tartarus take twice as long to kill in that case. Usually you one-shot them, but now, at best, you're two-shotting them. So I'm a little hesitant to throw 2 of those on. Getting 20% extra health for bosses, that, like, this is a bigger deal for smaller, more numerous enemies. This is a bigger deal for bigger, tankier enemies. So, a little hesitant to get super aggressive on either of those ends. Anything else we could throw on for just a single point? I mean, there are several things here that we've never tried, like Vow of Menace. I think we've used this once. Not a huge fan of that one. More foes, we've done that at least once before. It's 20% though? Oh, I meant to rescind that. Not double down on it. Maybe we do this, and then that does mean we're at 8 fear. So the encouraging thing about this, I suppose, despite this being what would be our highest fear run ever, most of it is coming from the rivals, which once we get past the first 2 floors, if we do, then at that point it's as if we only have this 3 fear from these guys. So it's kind of front-loaded with the difficulty, which is potentially a good thing, potentially a bad thing, depending on how the run goes, but here goes nothing. Oh, and I think we have Gali as our familiar, which I was thinking to myself might be kind of useful, since the blades have good damage potential, but they do have the very limited range. So having a familiar who helps us be a little more defensive might be a good combo. And I'm not sure. We've probably taken blades with Gali once before on the surface. Starting off with a hammer is certainly not bad, though. Attacks are faster. I do like that a lot. Last sequence deals 300% damage in a larger area. These are both things we've taken before, and I love them both. Special has plus 15 power and deals damage in a wider area. It's usually the attack that we're building around with this, especially when we have the aspect of Malinui with the backstab damage. Attacks are fast. Does this include charged attacks? Because if so, then that's really good because it helps set up our backstab more easily. But this is also really good because it helps to deal with what, as I was just saying, would otherwise be one of the biggest weaknesses of the blades. Ooh. That being our relatively limited range. We don't have very many nectars either. It's rare that we find ourselves going out of our way to pick it up. So maybe it's necessary, the game, to kind of force our hand in that case. Nope, don't do that. And the thing that we are looking to do with the nectars at this stage is we do have almost all of the keepsakes. There's one we're still missing. It's Echo's keepsake, I believe. At least I anticipate that it is Echo's keepsake that we're still looking for. And so if we can pick that up, that'd be great. Otherwise, we've, for the most part, just gifted a single nectar to most people, and there are reasons to give additional nectars, so we could start to do that a little bit more, especially if we do pick up more nectars. Hermes, I'm leaning toward that here. Speed, dodge/movement things, and other abilities that give us more value the earlier we pick them up, generally things involving coins, versus Ares, which would potentially give us more direct damage. However, he tends to have abilities that have delayed one instance of a delayed burst of damage, which I don't think works very well with a fast attack speed weapon. So I think Ares probably lends himself a little bit better to things like the axe, unless we get the absolutely ridiculous stuff we got with his legendary boon plus some of the others. I forget what the little orbs that you can get to drop from him that give you extra movement speed and attack speed. If we could get that, that'd be incredibly powerful. But we'll wait for that, I think. Feels like that is a little bit more range than Weasel. Did that enemy just spawn directly on top of us? I swear there was not an enemy directly behind us before. Oh, hello, other enemies. Yeah, some of them are spawning directly behind us, for sure. Nope, don't do that. Oh, I thought that would provide us cover, and it did not. Oh, there we go. Oh, and we did use all of our silver before going on this run, right? So picking up a little bit more is certainly useful. So we could gift to Hermes. I am, to be honest with you, a little bit tempted to do that, although maybe we'll hold off for the time being.
Heard you were heading out again. Figured I'd drop in and send you off. Safe travels and all that.
Okay, so we're looking for stuff like this, Quick Buck, which give us more value the earlier we pick them up. Although we got, I think, the epic rarity version of Nitro Boost on our previous run, and it was incredibly helpful for us defensively. So this is both of these are really good. This one, again, the timing is such that I feel like maybe we ought to go this route. However, I mean, this is also good the earlier you get it, although it's a little bit lower rarity. First purchase costs 5% less, and another item appears afterward. I would think at this stage, 30% bonus gold for the rest of the run would still add up to more than this. I think I am going to go this route, but I really would love to see more Hermes with Nitro Boost later on. This is a little bit greedy to take this here. So theoretically, we have not yet done it at all, but our charged attack is very useful with this weapon, so does make sense to go Selene, even if we don't have we don't have any other boons besides no direct damage dealing boons yet. So the sequencing is maybe a little strange, but we'll take it. Little and this can still get the backstab fairly easily. I sort of forgot about that. The base damage is still lower, I think, or at least the speed of the attack is slow enough. Ooh. Speaking of backstab, please don't run away when I'm trying to backstab you. Ooh, and I didn't see you either. Guess I'm trying to play this kind of safely. He says as he almost dodges into that. You are an armored version. Let's change that. Okay.
This is for you.
Thank you. Supposedly there was no moon tonight.
Not even monstrosities such as Typhon could resist you, little star. Your headmistress and I always knew of your potential. Now I have witnessed you live up to it, and more.
Why, thank you, Selene. But yeah, it seemed like there was an extra little sparkle there on her boon before this conversation started, and given how we had that extra dialogue before we started on this run related to the moon, Selene, does make me wonder if Selene's gonna have some special increased role on this run, or have some new dialogue to give us. Okay, there's no duo hex this time around, and it was... If you didn't check out our previous run, definitely do, because as I said, it was quite the run, and we tried a relatively new at least hex, if not the first time we used the hex last time, with a duo boon, and it was way better than I was expecting. But now we're just going for whatever we prefer here. I don't know if we've ever taken the healing. I do kind of wonder how this gets upgraded going forward. I mean, there are some obvious ways I can think of. You could restore, you can do it more times per floor, it heals you more when you do it. Because, at least at first glance, this does not look all that convincing. So I wonder if the upgrades for it make it far more effective. Otherwise, this would probably be my choice. Let's do it.
Lunar Ray.
Okay. So, I know I was just saying we might want to spend some magic since we now have this hex. But at the same time, Demeter is really good, especially with this weapon, if we can find a good way to consistently and safely apply freeze. That is a chaos door. Which does kind of intrigue me. Please don't corner me. I am trying to backstab you with this from a safe location. Oh, wait, this... so that may or may not have been the hex that I thought it was. It was not, actually. I thought it was the big slam one, but I do like this one. Those are probably my two favorites. I mean, this is the one that I think we've taken more than any other. So, not that I don't like it. I was just a little surprised when I saw what attack was happening there. So, maybe should have read it a little more closely, but I think we'll be fine either way.
There's a touch of moonlight about you, flower, as though Selene lights your way.
She does.
Would that the moon concerned herself with more than her path across the sky.
Oh. Selene? Catching some strays from Demeter, perhaps? Okay, so our attack applies freeze is obviously useful, yes. However, Demeter's attack boons, the direct damage is not as high as you can get from some of the other gods and goddesses. So, for that reason, although I do really like Demeter and the freeze effect that she can provide, I would typically prefer it on either specials and or casts, not so much on the attack. That's where, in the past, we've tended to lean toward Aphrodite for maximizing the damage. So, we could even consider re-rolling, which I know might be a little crazy this early on in the run, but honestly, I feel like that may be justified. Because being able to check off a key Demeter boon this early, not needing to use Demeter's keepsake to make that happen, that could be very, very helpful. This would also be a way to address the magic stuff, but that's getting a little ahead of ourselves. So I'm going to use the reroll.
The risk.
Okay, this is what I was looking for. Either this or the cast, but the special certainly works. And that's, honestly, wasn't it 40% damage boost for the attack, but it's 60% boost for the special, despite them being the same rarity? So that's pretty nice. Okay, Arachne wouldn't be bad, not by any means. So I did hesitate a little bit upon seeing this. Otherwise, of course, Chaos is calling. What room are we on? We're on location 5. Okay, so we actually do have potentially enough time to get this Chaos Boon to evolve before we get to the boss fight, Hecate. It may depend on how many rooms we go into that are actually full-blown encounters, so that could end up being a factor. Although we might still have 1 or 2 rooms remaining by the time we get there, and that, depending on which boons we see here, may cause us some trouble, but we're gonna give it a shot. This is the first damage we're taking, so that's not a huge concern there, which is nice. There are some times when you look at that. Those are typically the 2 main factors you're considering when you're weighing whether you want to go into the Chaos Room. Is it going to be active for a major boss fight encounter? And or is it going to deal so much damage to you that even maybe in a normal room you would still be concerned about how much health you have remaining? Okay, so Chaos Fish, hold on. Dial in, focus.
Here, fishy.
Got it. Ooh.
I caught a Progelli.
It's only a 1-star, but I feel like we haven't seen that before. It's an interesting name as well. Alright, so what do we have here?
I understand the being you call Typhon presents a significant problem for the Olympians, and now also for you. I had not necessarily expected he and Kronos would join forces. Perhaps this is why I could not detect Typhon's reawakening.
Okay. Chaos of all beings, not expecting that. This is interesting. This very first one. We see 1 fewer boon. Not the worst downside, at least certainly not if we're considering whether this will be active for the Hecate fight. Because it wouldn't have any effect on that, and it's only 2 boons this is going to activate on, so we could get this to evolve very quickly. Afterward, we get 90% more gold for the rest of the run, which, I mean, you could make the case we already have enough bonus gold coming from this, so we don't need additional bonus gold. This is 3 times as effective, although that did give us an immediate burst to a certain extent. And maybe in hindsight you'd say, alright, if we had known we were going to get this, we could have passed on the previous Hermes boon, gotten the other one that was also looking really nice. This is a good example of one that I would be a little concerned about if this is still active during the Hecate fight. Taking 43% extra damage on that, wouldn't be thrilled about it. The upside is good. Restoring magic automatically would make it much easier for us to regularly use our charged attack. Enemies drop Inferno Bombs, after which we get a pretty sizable special damage boost. We did get a decent special boon, although as I said, I still think it's mostly set up for our attack. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case. You could make a case for any and all of these. I feel like, yeah, the downside for this is definitely the most manageable, so it is tempting from that standpoint. The upside is really nice, but you could also, as I said, make the case we are least in need of it, although maybe we could do some crazy things if we just had more or less unlimited money, which I think would pretty much be the case here. At this early on in the run, alright, gonna give it a shot. You really could make a case for any of those. And this is why having bonus damage received wouldn't have been great going into a mini-boss fight, and potentially into the Hecate fight. So the one we took, the downside is affecting the boons we acquire. I think we go here. Yes, this would potentially give us a higher rarity boon, but we can potentially purchase multiple boons here, and as I was just saying, we may not have all of our bonus gold things active just yet, but I'm anticipating for that to be the case eventually, and that means we may still be able to get aggressive at this stage. Now, at this point, we only have 2 boons, and I am not sure if it is possible to upgrade Quick Buck with the Palm. So this might be a guaranteed Ice Flourish upgrade here, which does sound a little bit tempting, especially if we had taken the extra special damage from Chaos. May still be worth doing. But if we were to get a cast, from Demeter? Would we still prefer that? No, I think we do prefer the special, because the special, as we were saying before, it is possible to get the backstab damage. Still on the special. And that was 60 before, now it's 80. Let's do this.
In the name of hate.
There are still certainly good things we could see from here. And naturally, the cast does show up, but it is the thing that gets blocked out. I think that's okay. Because this, I think, is also something we got on the previous run. We just had a bazillion ways to avoid instances of damage. We had this and the boon that we passed up from Hermes before. But we may still be able to make up for that a bit. Obviously, this is going to cost us some magic. And we did not take the magic restoration, but there is still time to make up for that. So I think we will go there. I think we will take this, and that means that only one more boon, and we will see our Chaos boon evolve. So you could make a case for life being more valuable than a boon here. However, given just from the pure value of this end room reward, but since the boon would cause that Chaos boon to evolve immediately, I think we will go this route. It is a mini boss, so this will be a little bit tougher, of course. But we're back at full health. Which one is it?
This one again.
It's this one again. Indeed. But you already...
Remember that.
Excuse me? I was about to say they already don't have any armor, and then they just instantly exploded. What? Was it just a... We got back backstab damage there, and I think that enemy does have a lot more shields than it does have... Or a lot more armor, rather, than it has base life. But I was not expecting that. I was not expecting it to go down that quickly. Wow. Because that was from our attack. We don't have any attack boons yet.
For a while longer, especially now that you've shown us a thing or two about how it's done, Sunshine. You're going after Kronos now, aren't you? Well, ridding us of him certainly wouldn't hurt.
We do, of course, have a fully upgraded backstab damage boosting aspect, so that is why it dealt as much damage as it just did, but still, insane. Okay, what do we see here? The... Is that the base cast, or is that sort of a secondary cast effect that got locked out? Do we take damage, automatically damage, and daze all foes in the vicinity? It's an epic rarity revenge boon. 100 damage is not bad, and daze is pretty good, because there's a 20% chance that the enemies deal no damage. Well, this is the base cast, right? And that's the secondary one, I think? Or it might be the other way around? Oh no, this is Magic Restoration. I just saw the word cast and didn't read the rest of it. In my defense, some of it was blocked off by those chaos roots or whatever they are. So... I mean, I still wouldn't say no to a Demeter cast as well, which is the main reason why I'm holding off, or not especially keen on taking this right now. I kind of want to give Demeter a little more time. So I'm not as big on taking revenge boons, but we'll go for that. And there is the Chaos boon almost immediately evolving, so that is really nice. Let's see, this backstab damage with the special. It's pretty nice. We do have, oh, hello, the hunt is on. We do have built-in Hex charge up from one of our Arcana cards, which is the reason why we now have a Hex that is ready to go, despite technically not having spent any magic yet on this room. Don't mind me. Oh, casually getting 3,000 damage. That might have been a crit with the help of Artemis that was also a backstab hit. So, I mean, yeah, if we're about to get an Artemis boon, which we likely are, and that is a pretty nice bonus, in addition to the little bit of health we get here. This room reward was not going to be that big.
Sister Artemis.
I saw it first.
You saw it first. So this is mostly going to be about the Artemis award in all likelihood. Reward, I should say. Out of curiosity, since it is a little bit harder to find Artemis, so we can, by looking at this page, we get a preview of at which stage Artemis may give us additional rewards, and it looks like 2 more nectars would get us there. So this first one wouldn't... It would progress our relationship, but it wouldn't give us anything directly in return. Now, you could make the case that Artemis shows up infrequently enough that it's going to be kind of hard to give her another subsequent nectar anytime soon, so maybe we target someone, say, in the Crossroads, who we are fairly likely to see any and every time we finish a run. Maybe we do pass for that reason, given how we don't have much in the way of nectar right now.
Olympus managed to take Typhon down. I figure with your aid, probably Sister Seleni's too. I guess I wasn't needed up there after all.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have said no to your support.
We drove the monster back, but I don't think we've properly discouraged him. Not yet, at least, though I have a few ideas.
If your ideas involve an arrow in his eye, of which I hear he has a lot, let me know. Moonlight guide you home tonight.
I mean, yeah, wouldn't say no to extra arrows. Let's see. Piercing arrow fires toward any foe damaged by a charged cast. If that were charged attack, maybe even charged special, that'd be a lot better. Specials may deal critical damage, but it primes our magic. A lot of our magic. Specials have a 10% critical hit chance. I wish that was higher rarity, because criticals do plus 200% damage, and we already have some pretty good stuff going with our special. So this is seemingly veering into special build territory. The dash or charge moves may deal critical damage for 2 seconds. That's also a 10% chance. It could apply to any charge move, including our attack, which was originally what I thought was going to be the focal point. But maybe we stop asking questions and just embrace what the game is giving us, and we go with the special.
Smart.
Wait, was that charge special, or was that just base special? Let me double that. That was any special. Okay, because that primed a lot of magic, so we can't really do much on the magic spending side at the moment. In fact, it's so much magic primed, I'm wondering if we kind of just have to write that off for most, if not all, of the run. This gives us a little more life. Is this magic? I always forget, because we always go for the ashes. I mean, the bones, if we're talking about stuff that's more valuable as a resource once we get back at the Crossroads, the answer is almost certainly bones, because we probably have taken so many ashes from these sorts of rooms that don't really need those anymore. So I suppose I'll go this route for that reason. Oh, I forgot those give us the shields. That was cutting it a little bit close. Assuming this is, yeah, not the last wave. Ooh. Okay. Don't love you guys. Another thing I don't love about this special is that it kind of has a mind of its own. I can point it in a general direction, but the game kind of just chooses someone who it wants to hit and auto-targets them, and it isn't always the enemy you want it to be.
Got it.
So that does give us a little bit of magic, so it makes it a little more possible, and maybe a little more possible still, for us to do some charged stuff. I'm glad we got the rooms with the boons as the reward early on, so we got the Chaos boon to evolve quickly, because otherwise this would have been, 2 more rooms in which Chaos boon had not evolved. It means we have more of a delay before we would get the big bonus gold that we were looking for. It is nice how even the armored enemies were freezing. We're slowing them down, making them so they can't really attack us, even while they are still armored. Otherwise been a bit of a challenge. We are getting surrounded rather quickly. Here's a good example of I would have liked to have hit the enemy that was right next to me first. So that's more bones, little more magic. We did spend bones pretty aggressively recently just to pick up more nightmare, since we spent it very aggressively on the previous aspect we were using. This would give us... Does that get affected by all of our various gold boosters? Because if so, this may not be necessary, but it also may be a lot more than it appears to be here. I think we give it a shot.
This is private property.
I don't know how fast we really are, but... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to finish saying what I was going to say, because I know I'm going to jinx myself if I do. Yeah, so this special spam, decent damage, might not be the fastest in the world. Didn't we... Oh, I forgot we also got the... Okay, so it says 53 there, but it's actually 117. Yeah, okay. It's a lot more than it looked like. And I think this is going to be the penultimate room. And although we bought everything at the previous shop, I think we can very likely buy everything here as well, even if that was likely to be a free health upgrade. Money is unlikely to be much of a barrier. Oh, hello.
Look upon me.
Feels like this one's taking way longer than usual for an individual section to complete, but... What? Oh, no. I mean, I don't need that, but I'm going to take both of these things before you steal one of them. Charge moves may briefly restore any magic you use, repeatable after 8 seconds. Kind of tempting, given what we were just saying about, Oh, she just stole something, for sure. Given how we were just saying it might be hard for us to spend magic, although this is another one that is good the earlier you pick it up. I swear, whenever we get the rewards, the boons of various varieties that give us extra rewards, whether it be gold or other boon-related things, we always get tons and tons of those on the same run. So it turns into way more than we would ever need on that run, and probably would have preferred to have a little bit more of a balance. I mean, this is still very tempting. Charge moves also launch a wave, but use more magic. Like this we can't afford to do because we have so little magic to work with. It'd either be this or this. I think given how early we're seeing it, we probably should go C-Star. Whenever it's other than boons, hammers, or rare resources. Okay, she took the healing. That's fine. We didn't need the healing. We were on full health. And so we will take the magic, which, I mean, honestly, being at 80 magic, at 80 usable magic at this stage is not that ridiculous. So, you know, if we didn't have 60 primed, then he would say, okay, we have a ton of magic, but this is a kind of normal amount. We did sacrifice a little bit of life to get there, so there's a little bit of an opportunity cost. But I think still doing okay there. So obviously this is about to be the new Hecate fight. We have seen it before. It is a little more complicated, a little more dangerous, but if we play it slowly, we can still make it work. And I think that is kind of the name of the game right now, because in terms of direct damaging boons, as I was kind of just alluding to, we don't have very many of them. We basically have the special that does have backstab potential and does have some base damage improvements, but otherwise, and some crit to potentially go along with it, it freezes, which means we can safely spam it, relatively safely spam it, but pure DPS-wise, not the highest. At least not yet. I forgot we got the hammer upgrade, though, that is attack-specific, so that is another reason why we might want to lean more into attacks.
Grown so fond of the surface that you would not be coming back here anytime soon.
We had done 4 surface runs in a row, I think, so yeah, that's a valid statement.
Our task takes me to the very ends of the earth. I have unfinished business there as well as here. I'm much more comfortable in these environs, though.
I agree.
Comfortable? You should be fully on your guard and braced for battle. Let's see how comfortable this is for both of us.
Yeah, because that does mean it's been a little while longer than usual since the last time I fought Hecate, especially in this newer, more difficult version that I'm less accustomed to, so might need to play this a little safely, as we were saying. That and... oh, that's the big one. Oh, right, she does this now. That, and we aren't crazy strong at this stage. We'll get that one. Is that actually the real one? Oh, it was, I think. I no longer know which one the real one was. You moved right as I was starting to use the hex. I did not appreciate that. That was not the timing I was looking for. potentially could get you there. I mean, the automatic charge up on the Hex is very helpful. As I said, otherwise it was going to be pretty challenging for us to reach that threshold. It is still possible, don't get me wrong, but deliberately kind of holding back a bit on that. She about to phase? She's also... She runs after us more aggressively. Oh, was that a... Might have been a block there of some variety. Ooh! Could be used up. Kind of messed up the positioning. Oh, that's... Well, that's not what you're supposed to do with that. I do not remember her doing that before. Oh, and I forgot that, we're not just waiting for this phase to end. We do actually need to, you know, kill her ads. Okay, so yeah, you know, needed a bit of a reminder for how this works. This might truly be new. Whoa, okay. Well, also, mathematically speaking, the closer we are to her, the easier it is to run around that. That is the real one. This is actually just a free opportunity to spam. And really what we should be doing is this. If we had the slightest bit more range, which we didn't. How big is a... Whoop, hold on. Excuse me. Pardon me. Please don't do that. Oh, she has her Hex. Kinda, sorta. See, I think I wasted a little bit of our immunities. Yeah, she kind of chases after you more aggressively. More irregularly. It's more like an opposing player. Okay, this is where she transforms us again, right? But this one is worse. Oh dear. Oh dear. How am I supposed to... Excuse me. I'd like to transform. Yeah, I mean, there really isn't a lot I can do in that situation. We are much slower in that form, and I happen to be far out from the center, so I had to travel further to avoid this lunar ray.
How about this?
Direction I want to be going in, but... Okay, won't get too greedy. There we go. Was that the real one? I'm not sure. Not you. I think it was. Up there. What are you doing now? She has a little glow around her. Does that mean she has her Hex charged up? It might mean that. It's gone now, though. Where are you? That seemingly did not hit us, even though it looked like it would have. Whoa, that's fake Hecate who did the slam as if it was her Hex. That's a little surprising. It's also fake Hecate. That's supposed to use it. It's like a teleport. As soon as I start attacking you, you're gonna do that. Can I sneak up behind you? It's technically not a backstab, unfortunately. That was really weird. The game, I was running in the opposite direction, and the game forced me to run straight into that projectile. I think something like that did happen to us a couple of times in the previous run, but we were strong enough that it didn't really matter. But that is alarming, nonetheless, that the game basically forced you to get hit by at least that attack, the second to last one. So it means we took a tiny bit of damage there. Could have certainly taken no damage in this. I don't think it's going to matter that much, because we should be able to still heal all this off at the next well. But this was one of the big fear-increasing factors of the run. So to check this off, have it in the rear-view mirror, now no longer a factor. That is certainly helpful.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Little one, do not presume to think your movements are invisible to me. I see you plainly where you stand. A trespass for which you shall suffer, although regrettably not by my hand right now. Not yet.
Alright. Okay, so we definitely want to switch keepsake. So this is where we potentially might have had ourselves wanting to go with the barley sheath. However, now that we've already gotten the Demeter precedent, that's not really a factor anymore. We might still benefit from seeing the Demeter cast, and we would have the potential to upgrade that if we were to take this, but if anything, we would probably lean more toward, once again, the Demeter plus Aphrodite combo that has, for the most part, proved to be the most helpful for us. Otherwise, it would probably be Moonbeam, because with Moonbeam, we could upgrade our Hex more quickly, which I have mixed feelings about, given how we don't have a lot of magic to work with, or at least we primed a fair bit of it. We don't yet have any magic restoration. I don't think we passed on at least 1 or 2 forms of it. So I'm a little hesitant to build around this at this stage. We saw even with just the Arcana card charging up our Hex, though, it is possible to get it. The thing is that this Hex, once you fully upgrade it, can become amazing, but it kind of takes a while before it feels good to use it. So Moonbeam early would be very helpful. It's a matter of how early do we feel like we need to get Aphrodite to show up? Do we take our chances on maybe a random Aphrodite showing up on the 2nd floor? But then that means we have less time to get the actual Aphrodite boon we're looking for. I think we probably should go this route, because at this stage, we have much more lined up for the special and potentially the attack because of that big hammer upgrade we got. Whereas the Hex is, at the moment, a little bit more of an afterthought. If we do manage to get, sorry, I got distracted all this stuff. If we do manage to get Aphrodite on this floor, then we can switch over to the Moonbeam on the next floor, and then we can start leaning into the Hex. If you would take damage instead heal, I mean, that's just not relevant right now. I mean, I guess it means we don't take damage, even if the healing's not relevant for us. Attacks and specials deal plus 200% damage when not empowered by boons. That does not affect our special right now. It does affect our attack. Actually would mean it only lasts for 6 encounters. Okay. It buys us some time in which we do not need to immediately get the Aphrodite boon. Granted, we did just take her keepsake. So, we'll take it. It's only 10 gold, and as I was saying before, we probably could purchase just about any and everything we want here, so I'm half tempted to buy this, just because we probably could still afford it, but I guess we'll pass? Was that the last thing we still needed to purchase from the mini-shops? It might have been, because, I mean, we'll take a prophecy fulfilled.
This way. At least my feet are clean.
One of those. Just opening up a little breaking a golden urn gives us 22 gold. That alone would have been enough to finance that mini shop upgrade. Just pretty crazy. Oh goodness. That's a lot of energy. Okay, no, that was greedy. See, there you go. Good example of... There are a bunch of enemies right next to each other. I was really tempted to use our Hex. Potentially take multiple of them out, but instead... just took some would have taken some unnecessary damage. Did end up taking it a little bit later, instead. And that was... should have been a lot more manageable. Maybe it was worth breaking out the attack boon there once they were frozen. Okay, so we do have another fishing spot. Hold on. Oh, quick one. I don't know if we've seen that either. Okay, so... gold rooms do give us an absolutely absurd amount of gold. But I think we also just don't really need to target them. That honestly might be the biggest benefit of having all those gold boosting boons right this early, is we just can always choose the alternative to gold rooms and basically get a free Aphrodite boon. The thing is just that maybe we don't really need... I mean, who knows what we're going to get from Aphrodite, of course. If it is a nice attack boon, then that's great. this room is it's a little crowded. Little congested, you know what I mean. Yeah, there's when we do manage to get in range safely for an attack boon, which is easier said than done. Or attack, period. It deals a bunch of damage because we don't have an attack boon. Just trying to be a little more patient than that. Huh? Oh, I'm trying to collect... Whoa. Oh, that's the exit that I was standing direct... I didn't even realize that. I was like, why won't you let me take it?
Last time you made a real difference here, you know. I shouldn't be surprised, and yet a single goddess doing so much work? You're quite the inspiration, love. And terrifying, too.
We did have a successful run. In fact, I think our past several runs down in the underworld have been successful. So, we have had a much better rate as of late going in this direction. Don't want to put too much pressure on us on that front, but it would be nice. At the very least, we're trying to beat Scylla, because I don't think we've seen alternate form of Scylla yet. I should have double-checked beforehand. I meant to, but I forgot, and as I said, I forgot if we have seen her in her alternate... I don't think we have, because we would have had the option to unlock the next tier of the Rivals Fear option, right? And that wasn't there. So I think that pretty much guarantees that we've not seen the new, harder rival version of Scylla. So we don't get the attack. So we do still have one reroll remaining. We could use it here, although, as I was saying, maybe we're not in quite as much of a rush because we do have that shop item that, at least for 4 more rooms, is helping us out. If we do find ourselves eventually spending magic, this would be good. This is very good defensively, this dash boon. Deal more damage while we have a lot of health. That damage bonus is doubled. I say it every time I see this. The numbers just aren't high enough to catch my attention. Certainly not with common rarity, so I think we're just going to take this. Not going to rarify, because I am going to save that, potentially, for if we see the attack boon. Oh, this is tough. This is tough. I think... So this is obviously Narcissus. We don't see that often. But he tends to give us mostly crafting rewards of various varieties. So I feel like the main reason why we would go here would mostly be for plot progression purposes, just to talk with him again. Whereas for this run, having a Trial of the Gods, where we get 2 boons in 1 room, definitely would be more beneficial for this run, or at least very likely would be more beneficial on this run, so I think we will still go for this. Does mean we're going to have to pick favorites, of course. And we're starting to get close enough that we can hear Scylla's song, or the preview for Scylla's song. In fact, there is a very good chance that she has a new song for the rival fight, which I would be very interested to hear, because I really like the original one. I'm trying to see if this preview might be new as well. And then, of course, as soon as I stopped to listen to it, she stopped singing. In general, I feel like we are trying to lean more in the Demeter direction. I think we will take you. I don't remember what Poseidon does when he's mad, though. We do get the attack boon from you. These are all common rarity, which is a little unfortunate. Ooh, but this is good to get early. We're getting all the stuff that benefits you the earlier you get it. If this were higher rarity, it would be even better still, of course. But I mean, I hope it hits Ice Flourish, I guess. It could hit anything, right? Because some boons... There are some boons that can't be upgraded, like I think was the case, as you were saying earlier, with Quick Buck. Hermes ones in general, I don't think you can upgrade level-wise. Rarity-wise, though, you probably still could hit them with this. This would give us a form of magic restoration, but I think we're going to go with this. Wish the rarity was higher, but we're still going to go with that.
I'd not have made that choice if I were you, but then if I were you, I wouldn't still be me, so you get my drift.
Is you get my drift a pun for Poseidon? It might be.
Here he comes.
Okay, is it just a circle that deals damage to us? Oh my goodness. Did you see how many enemies there are? Oh, he also has these orbs. Okay, this is also a bad idea. Oh, the circle in question that I was commenting about, I think, was actually our cast. It's the orbs that he throws at us. That's the thing. Those. That's the thing that is specific to him being mad. I assume... Uh-oh. I was about to say that I assumed that was the last of the enemies. Obviously, I assumed wrong.
The water spouts.
Ooh. Trying to avoid Poseidon's orb as well. I mean, this is, again, the kind of encounter... Ooh, that spawned right on top of us. Yeah, we still managed to miss it, thankfully. Avoid it. Excuse me? Seems like the kind of encounter where the attack would be really helpful.
Just take a breath.
But just for whatever reason, it feels like I can't sneak it in. Maybe I'm just being really safe? I should be more aggressive?
A little heated there, I think, but I've cooled off. No lasting harm, though to be fair, my blessing here won't last too long either.
Okay. Well, what do you have? Casts also immediately hit foes with a powerful splash that inflicts froth. Gives them a chance to take 50 damage for 3 seconds. Charge moves make you briefly restore magic. We saw that. Charge moves also launch away, but they cost more magic. It's the highest rarity option. It's kind of unfortunate because it's probably the one we are least interested in taking given our still relative lack of magic. We are starting to get enough water boons. The water infusion may show up. 6, I think, is the threshold where it activates, though. And we did get that in the previous run, and it is really good to... Or, it's not quite as good as we thought it was. It may have been nerfed, but it probably would still be a welcome addition. That is his base cast, is it not? I think we might go for this, for the magic restoration. Charge moves make you briefly restore any magic. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a huge factor.
The tides come in.
I'm still not sure how much we are actually going to use our magic. I mean, we're starting to get enough that's maybe usable once more, and now that we can theoretically get some of it back. So this is, again, mini-boss for potentially should be higher rarity boon versus shop, where we can probably buy everything and not even have to worry about that limiting our potential to buy in the next shop. And this won't have enemies, whereas this obviously may have a powerful enemy in it. So, no damage, reasonable risk of taking damage. So, I think that's just one of the differences that comes from... Oh, hello. One of the differences that comes from having picked up all of those extra gold boosting items earlier. And we don't need the healing, but this is actually very similar to what we would have gotten in that case from the other alternative room. We get Apollo. This one will be just the normal rarity chances, at least. And, but we get, instead of higher rarity Apollo, we get also Selene. And we have the... Oh, no, we didn't take Moonbeam. Okay, well, we'll take this.
The infinite dark.
And... Wait, what? When did that happen? Huh? Do you always get the duo with Selene? It's just a matter of every type of hex has a specific god or goddess that it is always paired with. And so, it doesn't matter if you have that... Anytime you pick Lunar Ray, you will always have the option of pairing it with Apollo. You may not get Apollo on that run, in which case you'll never have the opportunity to use this, but even if you do not yet have Apollo at the time of acquiring the Hex, if you then later do get Apollo, then you will always still have the option of receiving this upgrade. That's what it seems like, because I am not sure that we had Apollo when we got Selene initially. Otherwise, if I'd realized this was going to have duo boom potential, and there was no icon. There absolutely was no icon next to this one. Yeah, usually when you pick that first Selene boon, there's only one of the 3 options that has the icon next to it, indicating that it's a duo boon. Is that just because we always, coincidentally, only happen to have one of those 3, only happen to have the corresponding god or goddess, or one of the 3 Cellini options. But if we happen to have maybe seen Cellini for the first time late on in a run, when we already had a whole bunch of gods and goddesses, then we would have still seen the indicator on 2 or all 3 even of those options. I'm not sure, but this is not... It seems like this is not as rare to get the duo boons as I might have expected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get it. What do we get along the way? Deals more damage in an area around us. Okay. So the thing that really makes this more effective is this guy. Making it so that you don't have to stand still to fire the hex. So you're just a sitting duck when you use this, even if we take this one. I mean, I'm still probably going to take you first, but I think you could legitimately make the case for prioritizing that other component first, and now we definitely will want to take Moonbeam on the next floor. So we have already guaranteed we have Aphrodite Precedent. We would like to use the Keepsake to upgrade an Aphrodite boon, ideally, but as for what we find here... Oh! Fire Infusion, when we have at least 3 fire, which we do not quite have. Whenever you take damage, restore 30% of it. So it functionally is almost as if we are taking 30% less damage. Not quite, because it takes a little bit of time for it to heal, but that's not bad. And since we only need 1 more fire boon for it to activate, I know it's not active right now, but surely at some point that will become the case, right? Otherwise, deal more damage until we take damage. It's 10% boost. And then if we do take damage, after 15 seconds, it can come back. Or we get the basic attack boon. I do think if you get high rarity on this one, the numbers do start to come close to some of the big damage boosting ones, although I still think that Aphrodite is better. This one does give area of effect, though, which is nice. I think we're going to take this. Healing does nothing for us. This is an interesting question, because as I was saying before, we may not need to ever take a gold room for the entire run now onwards, because we have all those gold boosting options. This is a mini-boss. If it weren't a mini-boss, I would say this one's a no-brainer, but I guess we'll still do it. It's a little risky. Which one is it? Oh no! We haven't seen you in a long time. You are terrifying. I don't really remember how you work, though, besides just that you're very fast. Okay, I did have to dash out of that. I also didn't look at what the various little options we picked up leading up to that big upgrade were for our Hex. So I noticed that we had some armor when we were using it, which would have been useful to have recognized that from the onset, but I didn't. Okay, these are gonna all blow up. If we stand on them, that is, at least. I deliberately activated them and then just ran through. Ooh, don't stand there. Love if that were to blow up on you. Unfortunately, I don't think these little mines can, though. They won't deal damage to you, at least. I'm trying to get rid of those guys, but they really will not stop spawning. Also, not gonna lie, our familiar, Golly, does look a lot like the little rat dude. Little rat dude does have the sort of aura around him of sorts, the little lines make it a little bit easier to distinguish, but if not for that, they would be almost indistinguishable. They're basically the same color, basically the same size, and somewhat similar shape. I think we did get hit by one of its attacks, but also times like this where it's like, where is it? Not even who I was trying to attack. I know we still have the Hex up, but again, it's hard to find the opportunities to use it. Oh, did we get the, Did we have multiple opportunities to use the Super Hex per encounter already? Again, it would have been helpful to have seen what actual upgrades I got. Some of these guys, albeit temporarily, of course. when we do manage to get the freeze on him, it does help a lot. There we go. Okay. So I don't think we took any damage. We may have used some golly blocks, but I think probably worthwhile for what may or may not still be the most difficult of the various mini-boss fights on this floor. I don't know, the ink octopus guy might be competing for that title. And that is at least the newest one that we're least accustomed to. So I think we might have only fought this guy once before. Ooh. Some base damage on the attack, which is nice when we have high attack speed, and when we have a big backstab multiplier, and multiplier from this as well. My goodness. As I said, whenever we see this stuff show up, we get the first one, and we get all of the ones that go along with it. We receive some of this stuff right now as well. I mean, the earlier we get it, the better. It's just, is this complete overkill at this point? You could very well make that case. All of these are water boons, so you can't really use that as a tiebreaker. This is nice. It's 10 seconds, but especially, I mean, if we could... Oh, it's only attacks and specials? I was just thinking. If we could walk in with enough of our Hex charged up automatically at the start of an encounter to use that while we're still in that initial 10 seconds and get crazy bonus damage on the Hex, that could be unbelievable, but it's only attack and special. I mean, still, attack and special are the things we're trying to build around, so this is nothing to snuff at. I mean, part of me wants to take this just because it would be cool to have truly unlimited money at that point, but I really do think it's overkill at that stage. It's a little bit questionable to pass on the attack boon when we are still waiting for an attack boon, and an attack boon would be very useful for us. But remember, we're still getting... The shop bonus is still active for 2 more encounters. I don't know if that's going to be the case for the boss, but it actually means we're still not in a humongous rush. I mean, the timing is such that I think the boss is going to show up very soon. We would ideally either have the boss be the next encounter so that the bonus damage is still active from the item, or we get the attack boon we're looking for very quickly. What we don't want is for the boss to be far enough away that the shop item is no longer active and we still are empty-handed. Without an attack boon. We have a bunch of enemies that have a tiny bit of health, which is kind of annoying. These stuff... Ah, that was bad. It's me. Mostly just getting impatient. Please don't do that. No, bad. Okay, there we are. Please don't stun me.
Ashes.
Okay, a little more life. None of these guys are compellable. Okay, so this is bad. Because this does mean that this next room is going to be the last one in which we have the bonus attack damage from you. So we very much would like to get an attack boon in what will be a shop. Will probably be after this, and then it'll be the Super Scylla fight, which of course we have not yet seen. How are we doing on the nectar? We only have 1. I know this doesn't give us any passive bonuses on the current run, whereas this would give us life and this would give us magic. Feel like I'm gonna get a little greedy here, especially because we don't know what we're about to get ourselves into with Scylla. Bad. Big backstabs.
We're almost there. Hold on.
Now, we're not quite almost there. I wouldn't go that far. Please don't do that. Just try to hit you. Throw that up on you. And you go down.
For me.
This is for us. little bit more life. Okay, and then this is definitely the penultimate room. Okay, so yeah, we spent aggressively in the previous shop, and we're back at almost 600 gold. Just see if there are any golden urns, because as we were saying before, those are extremely valuable for us. Okay.
Lord Charon.
Oh, okay. Just nab this real quick. And we probably get all these things, even if the armor is maybe not that exciting, and oftentimes we might pass on that. Question is mostly, do we get this now, or do we wait to see what we get from the Apollo boon first? We're getting a ton of Apollo stuff. I think we take this first. The special probably would be the best thing for us. Instead, we got revenge damage up. Not thrilled about that. It was 25 extra damage, because I think it was only 100 before, but I mean, that's still not that big of a deal, I suppose. So as I was saying, the higher rarity versions of the Apollo attack boon, they do become pretty big. And as I was saying, we also just lost the damage boost that we were getting from that shop item. So we are very lacking when it comes to attack damage. Now, if we just spam exclusively special, then it doesn't matter. Then we can just wait and try to pick up an Aphrodite attack boon, which probably does still have more high-end potential than this. But this might be an out. This might be an opportunity for us to get a decent backup plan. The other thing that I'm just looking at, though, is that this is the one thing that is not a fire boon. And if we do get a fire boon, then we activate this infusion, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have active for a new boss that we have some concerns about. We could do cast, inflict daze, deal it. I mean, that's a lot of damage on the cast. Oh, they only deal damage at the end as they're about to expire? Okay. Otherwise, foes with daze take more damage if they are struck from behind. Oh. What is our source of daze right now? Is it only our revenge boon? It does get all foes in the vicinity, but still. That's a little unfortunate. I mean, this plus this, or this plus this would be really good in that case, because obviously we kind of have a bit of backstab damage already. So if we could get that to be 175, that could be insane. So, I mean, this is conditional, and this is all the time with our attacks, but again, like, if we're feeling greedy, it'd be kind of nice. This does give area of effect as well, though, which would otherwise be kind of challenging to get on the attack. I'm really conflicted on this one. It does kind of feel like if we take this, then we have sort of bricked the Aphrodite keepsake, but that's kind of just a sunk cost at this point, so maybe you just don't give in to the sunk cost fallacy. You do take this. Aphrodite, we're no longer all that committed to her. I mean, I suppose it's possible she could give us an attack boon to swap out this epic version with her heroic version. We definitely take that. That is, technically speaking, still an option. But outside of that, Aphrodite, she does also have the attack boon that gives you a flat amount of damage at the cost of priming some of your attack, or some of your magic. That is still possible to get. Okay, so this is now Super Scylla, and we don't know what we're getting ourselves into. But let's see, the Hecate rival version, more difficult, more complicated, but not unreasonable. The rival Polyphemus version, very frustrating, not a fan of it at all, kinda hate it. And by kind of, I mean I hate it a lot. Then, however, you go on to the Eris rival fight, and I actually like it. I might even like it better than the base version. So I don't know where this is gonna fall. It could be anything. It could be great, it could be awful, it could be totally different, and it definitely is.
So get up, lady. One of our proud sponsors made all our dreams come true. A brand new stage and a collaboration with one of the biggest names this side of the sea.
Okay, so what can we learn just from this little preview here? First of all, looks like the genre, the style, the aesthetic got a little bit darker here, if this is any indication. Other than that, obviously there are these tentacles as well, and it reminds me of what we saw from the Charybdis fight, which was actually on the surface. Although that would thematic or canonically, mythologically, that would be extremely relevant, because Scylla and Charybdis are basically right next to each other in the Odyssey, and the whole point is that as Odysseus is making his journey back home from the Trojan War, he hears of these two very imposing challenges, perils that await him. If he goes in one direction, he's going to run into Charybdis, which is a humongous whirlpool that's likely to sink his entire ship and take out all of his crew along with it. And apparently, you know, there's a sea monster that's behind that, although, at least from reading the Odyssey, I thought I remembered more so the whirlpool part. But then the other option is Scylla, who, with 6 heads or 6, limbs, Odysseus figured meant that she would only be able to take out 6 of his crew members, and so he opted to go through past Scylla instead of Charybdis. But they are, in the Odyssey, right next to each other, or at least more or less right next to each other, because it's an either-or situation. So for them to be pairing up here, despite the fact that in Hades the game, they would usually show up in totally different areas, this is actually far more accurate. So I really like that, if this is in fact sort of a combo of Scylla and Charybdis. Oh, yeah, and I think it definitely is. So how this works, I'm not entirely sure.
Here with you. This is no sponsor's doing, but the will of night. As fear spreads, so do these manifestations of nightmares. My own, apparently.
So yeah, that, I imagine, that might be lost on some of the players, that nuance to it, but that is, if you have read the Odyssey before, that is really clever that they did that.
Badmouth our sponsor all you like, but they got taste, and you do not. We're debuting our latest single thanks to them, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. At least not the first part.
So yeah, that's really clever, and I really appreciate that. And we shall see what this is all about. I mean, of course, I'm expecting for there to be a lot more of the tentacles that are going to be... We've only done the Charybdis fight once, maybe twice? And it's been a while? So obviously, if you get close, they can melee you. But I think they have some kind of projectile or projectile-ish attack as well. So the arena may get quite crowded. As for whether Scylla and her siren pals are the same as before or not, I'm not sure. Like, is it basically just a combination of those two fights in one? Or have other things been changed in addition to that? Because if so, then that's obviously much more complex and much more unknown. The other question that I have is, are we attacking just Scylla, or are we also attacking the Charybdis tentacles? Because that would usually be what you do in the Charybdis fight. But here goes nothing. Okay, the answer is yes, we are attacking Charybdis tentacles as well. Okay, that is the same, at least with the... oh, you are a great target for this, though. Please don't knock me into that. That's extremely rude. That. So I'm going to bully the drummer, at least initially. Okay, I know you're repeatedly stunning me here, but I think the damage that we got in the process was still worthwhile. I totally forgot about the keyboardist, the guitarist rather. Oh, we wasted a resistance there, unfortunately, but we basically took out the drummer. I think that was still worthwhile. I don't know how one backstabs a tentacle. This is a new song. Admittedly, I can't really focus on it right now. So I don't really know how best to approach those guys in particular. Oh, yep. There go all of our resistances and now blocks as well. Might have cut that a little bit shorter than I would have liked. But does the tentacle go away permanently? Okay. Tentacle go away permanently if we hit it enough? Does it functionally make things easier by doing that? It doesn't seem like it came back. If so, that does kind of give you reason. I dash toward you. Give you reason to go after them one by one. Does seem like that is the case. I don't know if they have a second phase. I mean, presumably Scylla and her siren friends still do. Ooh, those heat seek. That's different. Did not expect that. Did one of the tentacles go away? Because I didn't really target it. Yeah, those projectiles from the guitarist are a little more challenging to avoid. That's a bit different. The number of projectiles in general is certainly more. Do this. And you might have hit me. Oh my goodness, that's... I don't think we've seen that before. Maybe I was just always avoiding Scylla enough so I typically was not going behind her, or not going up right next to her very often. Oh, speaking of going behind her, backstab damaging Scylla is not all that straightforward. I might just wait for you to not do this. I know I theoretically might be able to time that. Still, what are you doing? Okay. I feel like even now, is this technically projectiles that are coming from Charybdis? Might have been able to get a little more out of that. But now it's at least far simpler. Okay, now what happens? Oh, Charybdis is the featured artist? Uh-oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, okay. Hold on, hold on. One second. I was stuck in the corner. I knew I didn't want to stand there. I thought I could dash out. I could not. It's a little chaotic at the moment. I don't know if you noticed. It's a little chaotic at the moment. I know those are going in this direction. I really want to be going this way. Health bar is low, even though I haven't really attacked that many enemies in this new phase. Okay, got rid of you permanently. We're taking a whole lot of damage now, of course. These heat-seeking projectiles, I'm not a particularly big fan of. Oh, is that just the sound effect for my hex? I was like, what? I mean, you're attacking me or something? Trying to use the hex, their main source of damage right now. It would help if I hit, though. Kind of trying to go for Guitarist first, in part because if I do target Scylla next, she might get shielded. Is she down? Might be. I'd love to not have to use this Depth Defiance. Kind of forgot about her special a little bit, not gonna lie. That might have been a little bit helpful if I had remembered it. Especially for more ranged engagements. Okay, now Guitarist is down. Cool. Might have been able to get a little more greedy there. That's generally the theme. Okay, but now, are you going to do your thing where you get really mad at the very end? You summon something else that I do not recognize. I'm trying to do this to finish you off, but that's still easier said than done. Oh, it's from the octopus encounter. Oh no. Oh no. Not a fan. Not a fan. Can I kite you away so that I can get in for the hex? I don't know if I can. Not at this rate. Do that. Just poke Scylla every now and again. Maybe. Because she's so low. Just get a crit. Ideally. Drop some of those, maybe. Do we have anything on our cast? I don't even remember. This feels like this is... I mean, technically, yes. We are occasionally poking her for a little bit of damage. But it's not... The damage isn't adding up very quickly. I missed. Remember earlier when I was saying the game sometimes just chooses a random target for your... Ooh. That was greedy. Slash, not pointed in the right direction. So it might have been able to finish things if I had actually hit her properly. But yeah, that special not actually locking onto her is proving to be a bit of a problem. Bit of a problem. That hit her. Do we have anything? We don't have anything on our cast. Okay, so that's not going to do damage regardless. No, hit her. Hit her. Hit her. That was greedy. I mean, the cast can still kind of slow them down is one of the reasons why I'm still sort of doing it. I'm also occasionally getting stuck on stuff. So, you know, something Einstein quote. The thing is, it is sort of working a little bit. If, to the extent that I can actually hit her, occasionally, it is working. That was a good opportunity. I should have done more. Might have been enough of a window to go with the Hex. You're going to be facing the right direction, though. Now I'm just deliberately trying to set that up for the Hex. So anyways, how are you guys doing? Nice day, isn't it? Don't get stuck on that. Come on, give me a crit. Give me a crit. Oh, I did get hit. Okay. Excuse me. These guys do move slightly. No! No! I missed. Didn't lock onto her. Come on! Oh, okay. It trapped me in that corner, and then it didn't lock onto her. That's probably gonna mean we're gonna have to use Death Defiance in all likelihood. Our patience may all be for naught here. There we go. It was worth it, okay? Did that just add 10 minutes to the fight? Maybe. But it was the difference between having to use a Death Defiance and not having to use a Death Defiance. So, to finish with 2 life remaining. Okay, you know what? It's worth it, okay? To survive that fight for the first time with 2 life without having to use any Death Defiances. Now we get the healing from the shop, and now both of the rival fights are done. We don't need to worry about that anymore. I think that's a success.
Though bolstered by colossal Charybdis, Scylla and those monstrous songstresses from the abyssal sea yet prove unable to complete their deadly act.
See?
In the end, a normal night for them.
Ouch. But yeah, we were able to end their act. But yeah, cool fight. Definitely, it's primarily just a combination. Oh, we get some base life there as well, but this is the big thing. And if we were to get some healing at this shop, mini shop, I certainly wouldn't say no. Healing whenever we enter a location, that counts. Ensure any goods offered by Charon cost less. I mean, don't really think that makes that big of a difference for us. It only lasts for 6 encounters, which, the way encounters count on this next room, on this next floor, it's kind of weird. We could just take bones as well. Do we have bonus bones? We might actually also have bonus bones. We've mostly focused on the bonus gold. This might count. It's like I might buy all these things.
I'll take it.
It is going to temporarily drop us a little bit low here, but I'm hoping that you will still be able to replenish that stuff fairly quickly. So we did kind of brick the beautiful mirror. We did set Aphrodite precedent. Didn't really get what we were looking for, and we didn't even use the upgrade because we were trying to save it for the attack, which never showed up. We could have, of course, in hindsight, used our last remaining reroll. Maybe that would have paid off for us, but now next priority becomes Moonbeam, I think. Otherwise, you could potentially make the case for this. Can you... Are you allowed to take this and then heal, or do you have to heal first from this fountain? I think you have to heal first, because otherwise, obviously, you could take this item, this keepsake, and then immediately activate it, which would be pretty convenient. Okay, so we will heal more here. Yeah, we're back up to 80 plus life, and in fact, we have an empty room, should have an empty room here, so by the time we're actually in a room with enemies in it, should be in pretty good shape, health-wise. Those are the little things that pay potentially very big dividends. Saving that Death Defiance and getting the healing such that now, if I could just find the exit to this room, it is almost as if everything is good as normal. Okay, now is there only one room here? Because I do really like the Selene so that we can immediately benefit from that Moonbeam. The magic, I mean, honestly, it's not that bad, given how we've had some concerns about using magic before. We've done enough now to build up our magic that it's okay. Getting more wouldn't be bad. 19 healing there. So we're not full, but we are doing much better than we were before. Okay. You are annoying. The freeze does help, and so does the backstab. So that is the magic. It's a little bit of bonus bones. Oh, and they actually give us extra magic. And Sea Star gave us an extra round of that from Poseidon, which also gives us bonus magic. Okay, so that's 10 magic there. That's obviously not as much as this would be, but it's not insignificant at that point. Ooh, mini Selene. Honestly, I mean, this is really good because it means we get immediate Moonbeam activation, even if it is not a ton in and of itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means we can immediately get prominence. Now, this does mean that it's going to cost more to charge up the hex, but why don't I actually look at what we took along the way? We do get a little bit of armor, a little more automatic charge up, a little more armor, damage around us, Godsent. Did we take this one more time in Guardian Encounters? We did not. So this would be useful, for sure. That's going to be a big deal. We don't need it immediately, because we're obviously not about to fight Cerberus. So we will take this, and then we're about to pick up the actual full-blown Selene upgrade after this, so we can get it from that.
This doesn't belong.
We do already have this, so I will use it. Especially because we can use it without having to stand there, which I am going to have to remind myself of. Get used to again. Okay, please don't do that without being frozen. You, yeah, get rid of the. These guys can create more little dudes. This remains the safest way to go about things, and as I said, I kind of forgot about the special in our Scylla fight. Okay, but now we're back here. We have 3 to work with, which means we can get this one more use in Guardian Encounters. We can also take you. What do you do? Fires for up to 1 additional second. Up to, because usually you would potentially dash out of it to end it early, but now that's just always going to be plus 1 second with you. So that is helpful. I mean, the interesting thing now about the armor is usually that would make it a little bit more, make you a little more willing to just stand there and tank some hits while you're using the cast, because you would otherwise be vulnerable and otherwise potentially need to bail early. But now, since we can move, it's basically just a free, currently 20 damage that we can take while we're running around while the Hex is doing its own thing. Actually, 30. It's actually not the worst thing in the world, but the alternatives are to get closer to this, which I think could be a really big deal, and that also adds serious damage potential, though that does take a lot of points to get there. Well, 1, 2, 3 means one more full-blown Selene upgrade, and we would have it. So short term, it's not as big. Long term, though, it's probably better. Do we take our chances on that? Could get a little bit of... Well, we could do this, except if it's 3 upgrades from each Selene, full-blown Selene boon, then we kind of want to go 1, 2, 3. Otherwise, we could get caught 1 upgrade short. I think I will do this. Because it does also give us more damage the longer the boon is going for, and again, since we aren't really at risk of having to end it early, that's actually pretty solid value. I almost missed this fish. But I didn't miss it there.
Cheer up, Sobby.
Cheer up, man. Okay, where is the exit? Because I thought this room was very small. And yet, even with that being the case... Oh, it is because we still have this. Right, I knew that.
Smackers.
Do that. Ooh, would have loved to have used it on you, in hindsight. We may still be able to do. But for now, being able to freeze you is very useful because it significantly reduces the risk of walking into your smoke cloud. Okay.
I think I can finally go.
So now magic is becoming less and less of an issue, which is a relevant observation to make at this stage. We are still not at full health. We will heal a fair bit walking into this next room. This is the last room in which we're going to get that upgrade from the shop activating. So, we did spend a lot previously, although we're gaining money so quickly that... I know I was saying we may not need to get the gold. It's just the hesitancy is mostly from this being the mini-boss. Which I'm not thrilled about. We've only seen 2 mini-bosses on this floor, right? The vampire dude and the Medusa-esque enemies. So there's a chance there's at least one mini-boss that we've just never seen, which is a little bit of a scary thought. But you know what? We're gonna do it. Who is it? It is the vampire dude. It's been a little while. It has been a little while. And there was a time when this guy caused us some pretty serious problems. He has killed us. He has ended our runs on at least one prior occasion. Oh, that's a silly use of the block there. Okay, trying to get rid of his friends. So he has the vacuum cleaner. I walked into the brambles. Like a buffoon. So he has some long-ranged attacks. Perhaps like that. But don't hide from that light. I would have liked for that to have hit him a little bit longer, because he seemed to kind of teleport out of it. No. I don't remember what he does to follow up that attack. It's a little bit concerning. Okay. Remember, he does get freeze immunity for several seconds after getting freeze. Frozen is the word you're looking for. Okay, I'm deliberately waiting for him to do his thing, because then I'm going to do this, which I probably should have still waited for him. That counts as an ability to block? I don't think that deals damage, so that's a little strange to me. Oh, hello. He just teleported directly on top of me. Woo, okay, he got unfrozen at a very unfortunate time. Okay, you teleport over here now. We do have the Hex back. Waiting to see where you teleport to. Well, that does deal a little bit of damage. Okay. Come on. So close. He's so close. Got blocked again, which is also probably a waste, although...
No blood where you're going.
That was actually Golly, I think, that got the kill. Golly does do a little bit of damage, right? So we did take a little bit of damage. We did use Golly's blocks, but nonetheless got through a room that might have otherwise caused us some trouble, has caused us some trouble in the past. Whereas this time we still don't have a cast. That would be beneficial. Hit surrounding foes with a powerful splash as they start to strike. Prime, even more magic. Even better, minor finds. Oh man. We do still have a I mean, these are high rarity, so I'm a little hesitant to re-roll them, but at the same time, it does feel like this is probably not what we were looking for. If anything, high rarity on the cast probably would have been the preference there, although I haven't seen Demeter in a long time. She probably would be my preferred cast option at this stage. We do receive healing now. You know what? We'll take it for that reason. Not that we desperately needed it. These small ones, which are supposed to give us 66. Oh, we get even more? Okay. So what this potentially does, especially if we get them showing up again, means that if we do find ourselves making it to the end of the run, the super shop in Tartarus, we may be able to get incredibly aggressive there. Okay, so now here, triple reward. Nothing that is super exciting there. Maybe the life would be the most exciting, because we still have not picked up that much. And we have the potential to get bonus life rewards, I think. But still, we're kind of trying to get Echo's keepsake, because that's the one that we have yet to pick up. And we just weren't able to gift to her last time we saw her, if I remember correctly. So, gonna try it here. And, oh, if we do get the one that gives us the bonus reward based on what we got most recently, will that be the Poseidon boon? Or will that be the smaller things that we were picking up after the fact? Because I would rather it be the Poseidon boon. Can we gift? We cannot gift, no!
Have to press on. Press on. Press on.
Okay. Next purchase from Charon, gain another at no extra charge in most cases. I mean, we already more or less have those things. Ah, it does count as bones. No. Okay, we might actually take this. I mean, yeah, it's gonna mean we have insane gold/shop value. We probably will be coming up on the end of floor shop fairly soon, so should be able to cash in on that. Otherwise, we take this, which we've generally been shying away from, in large part because it loses value over time, so it's unlikely to be a big factor when you need it most. Unless you are already doing a really good job of evading things, and that means you probably don't need it as much anyway. So, I mean, we could go that route. Maybe, what with my saying we are little lower on life than I would like to be at this stage, that's a bit of a way to make up for it.
Strong, okay? Be strong.
Just want to see. We can gift after the fact. Okay, there we go. That's why. Okay, I know we only have one nectar left, but since I'm almost certain she's the only person we have yet to get a keepsake from, let's do it.
Even in a place of sorrow such as this, there's beauty, gentleness. I know not how to ease your burden yet, though perhaps this will help. Perhaps this will help. This will help. This will help.
It is clever, as we get the concave stone.
It's an honor. An honor. An honor.
It is clever how, obviously, Echo echoes the last few words that we say whenever we talk to her, but so often, the thing that we are saying to her that she then echoes back to us is relevant. So, I mean, maybe it's just that that's oftentimes the case, and it doesn't really take much effort to write the lines that way, but I'm gonna give Supergiant credit on that. I think that was pretty clever. Okay, so the hammer over here has the most potential. Hermes could be good as well. As I was just saying, we're a little bit lower than on life than I would like to be at this stage, so this probably has a little more balanced stuff, more gold, which again, we really don't need. The hammer's a little bit of a gamble. I think we still go for it, though. Can we re-roll the hammers? I honestly don't remember if we can. Well, also, here's the bow.
Illuminate my path.
That's convenient. Okay, little life. I do like that. is convenient. Still have yet to pick up a cast boon. Now, I know I've turned down several. But that is, at least, at first glance, the most obvious thing that we could still stand to gain. Not that that's about to happen from a hammer upgrade, obviously not, but... Okay, and now it no longer matters the order in which we take things, because Echo is no longer potentially going to repeat our most recent reward.
Good.
Kind of hoping some of those were going to get duplicated, though. So what that means, since Echo is no longer really a factor... Ooh, mini shop. Well, we can be very aggressive on that as well. We should probably take hammer first. Is what all that means.
Test my patience.
Music to my ears.
He is also the god of music. So you know, that does make sense. One moment, please. Don't mind me. Oh, does that shoot thorns out or something like that? I'd like to get the wolf dude, thank you. Wolfman. Almost got him. And that other one, does it? Feels like that was not doing the best of job targeting the enemies.
Enough of this.
At least not after it took out the first one. I don't know if there's another upgrade that improves that targeting ability. Okay, attacks. Deal even more damage striking foes from behind. I think we had to turn this down before. Specials have plus 15 power. Deal damage in a wider area. I mean, our special, again, has been really good. But what did we actually... Alright, we ended up taking Apollo on the attack. I'm still going to go with this.
2 more to go, I
Can I ask for another hammer upgrade for that special one as well? Now, at this point, backstabs with our attack are kind of insane. And at this point, I think you're next on the list of potentially valuable things. Oh, okay, I don't like you. You're going to be the target of the hex in all likelihood. So I don't like you guys either. Please don't run into the thorns. The brambles. Oh, that guy was quick enough to get me. Give me a little nibble. You did not get frozen. Well, now you're no longer armored, so you're not as big of a deal. But still. Please go away. What? He bounced it off the wall? Such that it landed right in front of him? Yeah. Attack and special, probably the two biggest things. I kind of forgot about this. I also definitely forgot about this. I mean, it's getting late enough that this is probably not going to proc that many more times. So probably still the answer is no. This should probably be the answer, and I should probably make more of a point of trying to lean into the extra bonus damage at the beginning. I mean, not that I was running away from the enemies immediately in the past, although I may have been focusing a little bit more on waiting for the hex than I might have otherwise done. I don't know what that was. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really sure what happened there. I dashed. Was it just a ton of damage from the dash? Slash visual effects from the dash?
Felt that. That was all of them.
Now... Okay, this is penultimate room, although don't forget the mini shop. We aren't quite at full life, although we're very close to it. See if I accidentally get us damaged more. That could change the equation a little bit, right? Why not just get damaged more? No, I don't think these guys are going to give us much of anything. I'm going to try. Okay. So don't really need that. Cast damage, still don't have a cast boon. But taking 10% less damage right in time for the Cerberus fight? We'll take that. Oh, we can technically reroll the shops, although Not really important enough for us to be doing that. Okay, so now, speaking of shops, we will still go here, because again, sure, this is a palm that we don't need to pay for, so 100 gold worth of value, but at the same time, we don't really need to be worried about that.
Get that, Golly.
Pick this up. And then we don't really care about paying the extra 100 for this, because it means we could get this, which we would not have been able to do in the other room. And sequence-wise, I think we're still taking this first. Attack and special probably still the biggest deal. Really wants me to upgrade that. Oh, man. You insist on giving me all the worst options. I mean, these are really bad options. Yes, this is a burst of damage. It does get a little bit higher, but we don't want to be getting hit in the first place. So I'm not thrilled about upgrading that, even if the damage is kind of high. The incremental damage is not that big of a deal. Incremental damage is, percentage-wise, much better here. It might honestly be this. Duo boon, maybe?
Business on behalf of my erstwhile professional associate there. Feels good to be working together with that one again. You tell him I said.
Excuse me? What was that? Excuse me? Alright, let's see. The delivery of that was incredible and totally out of nowhere. We have chance-based effects are more likely to occur except for dodge and daze. I mean, once again, means the chances of getting... Where is it? This to proc goes through the roof, even if, I guess, okay, sure, it's only 30% boost, but, and it's not additive, I remember, it's a percentage, I think, so, you know, we're not jumping up to 65%. It's not that good, but it's still, it's nice. You can dash more frequently, or get extra damage for 45 seconds when slaying a foe. So in crowded rooms, that can add up to be pretty helpful, but in boss encounters, maybe a tiny bit, depending on how many adds they're summoning and how quickly you're taking them out. But it's probably, this is probably the most valuable for boss encounters. Is there anything else? I mean, we have so many things that give us the extra... We do have dodge chance, but that doesn't get affected by it. So many things that give us extra value. Anything else that's percentage-based? This is still not active. Oh. Been sitting on needing one more fire boon for a long time. And we're also kind of waiting to... You know what? I might reroll this. Not that these are horrible. They're kind of just a little lackluster. If this were higher rarity, I might be more inclined. Probably should be this. Yeah. Okay. And then might as well. Okay. So yeah, by the time we get the healing walking into this room, we will be back at full health. Add in the 20 armor we just picked up, and maybe this is around what we'd expect to have going into this fight. And what was this guy? This was the take 10% less damage. Okay. I totally forgot about this. I totally forgot about this. I don't know what it has been upgrading, because I have not been paying attention to it. Was it? No, that's Hex. What does it hit? Not that. That's Chaos. I don't think it was that. What if you even upgraded? I think that was always that rarity. Was it this? It might have been this. Oh my goodness. I don't know. But anyways, this is a normal Cerberus fight, not a rival Cerberus fight. So that's nice. Okay, remember we have the bonus damage at the beginning. So we do want to get kind of crazy doing, not really that, this. It's probably not the right place to be standing there. I'm also about to get slammed by Cerberus. We did use basically all of our resistances and whatnot at the beginning there. On the other hand, we did get a ton of damage. Was it worthwhile? That's a different question. Oh, am I safe here? Just barely, I think. Ooh, hello. Okay, summon friends now. Oh, I don't like these guys. Fortunately, I can do that. It does help a bit. I'll just casually sneak up behind here for some backstabbing. Maybe some freezing, if you can still be frozen. Excuse me. Oh, Cerberus is making a re-emergence, despite this guy not being dead yet. There we go. About to say that would have been a great time for the Hex. He's about to do Fire Blast. No, it's not. That was still pretty good timing, though. Did we get the extra Super Hex in Guardian Encounters? Oh dear. I don't remember if we did. Oh, that's a very nasty combo. This would have been a great time to have snuck in behind you for some backstab damage. It did not happen. Whoa. What are you doing? Oh, we still have resistance left? I'm surprised. Please don't do that. This would also have been a great time for that Hex. This is our first time fighting Cerberus since the most recent patch. There is a chance that he has been changed a little bit. I'm not sure that he has. I was getting hit by something there. Something, at least. Come on, hit him. That doesn't really do it. Fire? Yes. This is where you want to be for that. Then we can just do this. And I know we blew through a bunch of resistances, but I'm not sure we actually took any damage.
Bestial, triple-headed guardian of Tartarus regains his senses once again.
So we'll take it.
You're free again.
Yeah.
Now.
Still at full health, and something just got upgraded. Flood something I saw in the name. Flood gain, I think it was this. Okay. Well, unless there's something else that started with flood, all I saw was the word flood. I would probably prefer if there were a different boon with the word flood in it getting upgraded, but that is not the case. Alright. Is there anything else in here that I might have missed? So I feel like we were hanging out in the bottom half of this arena quite a bit. Not really seeing up here. There's still you. Wait, you were crying. It's okay. We won.
My brother's biggest fan.
There we go. Don't worry, buddy. We wouldn't forget you. Not this time, at least. I'm sure there were other times when I did.
This is it.
Okay. So Kronos incoming. Still feels like we have a couple of things that are really strong. Backstab damage on either the attack or the special, but we could do a little more to upgrade those. And the other thing is, it's mostly supporting stuff. It doesn't directly help us in combat, so I don't feel great about that. Especially against Kronos. I feel like we could use a little more firepower, unless the Hex just carries us to victory, although we would ideally like to see a little more Selene, so we can get even more value from that. Here is the last of the keepsakes, the one that we just picked up from Echo. After choosing a boon, 25% chance, or 25% of the time, randomly take one more once this night. Oh, I like that. 25%. Oh, and it only can happen once this night. Okay. So, as you upgrade this, that 25% number goes up. Honestly, that's not that big of a deal, I would think, assuming that you take this stone at the beginning of the floor, of course, and you have several boons you're picking up on a floor, there's a pretty good chance that that 25% is going to proc, and it can only proc at most once. So sure, it makes it less likely that it completely bricks if you level it up, but it's kind of like this guy, and that it has that limit of 1 proc per floor. So, you know, it's not like you're gonna gain that much from upgrading it, but I'm intrigued. It's something that it feels like could be it could be a first room or first floor keepsake, or one of those middle floors. I mean, ideally we'd still be going for, at least while we feel like we need the handicap, things like Luckier Tooth at the end. But it's long-term value. If you can afford to use this for a floor, then you have that extra boon for the rest of the run. So I suppose the earlier you get this, the better. Could be an alternative to something like the gold purse, or if we thought, you know, we didn't need a keepsake for a specific god or goddess, or we were passing on hexes, so we don't really need the moonbeam, then that could make this a really solid option, kind of like what we were looking at with this guy as well. Okay, but you.
Should work.
This is what we're looking for this run. And then mini shop, again, we can be very aggressive, except we do not stand to benefit from that at all. These ones, they give us crafting resources. The thing now becomes, since we are on Tartarus, that means we will have a super shop at the end of this floor, assuming we make it that far. And at that point, there really are some extremely expensive things that we could purchase there, so there is potentially something to be said for saving our coins and having... You could still have things to spend even over 1,000 gold worth of stuff from those shops. Usually there's a really high rarity crafting item that is at least 1,000 gold. So I know we're almost at 1,000 gold, but maybe we do. Let's just double check. Is there anything else that I ought to have picked up? No. It would have been that if we needed the healing, but we don't. So let's carry on, I think. We're trying to go as big as possible in that final shop, the super shop. That's the idea. I still feel like we don't quite have everything that we're looking for. Even if the backstab damage is absolutely humongous, just doesn't quite feel like we have as many damage dealing boons
Did you perhaps forget
as I would
something
like
when
for us to
last
have at
you
this stage.
interfered?
Okay, oh, I know those money bags. They are a real pain. Don't want any of them to get us. Although remember, we have the extra AoE from the last attack in our sequence, and the AoE is humongous for it. That means we really haven't had much chance to do, because that's the thing. Basically, I want to be using the attack more. Maybe it's just that for whatever reason I have it in my head that that's not a good idea, but it can be potentially quite good for us. Okay, so we could progress, or we could go with the Trial of the Goddess. God/goddesses. There we go. Obviously more dangerous, especially on this floor where the enemies are tough, but the rewards could be great. I think we have to do it. This is more or less exactly what I was just saying we might kinda need. Let's take a peek. Apollo Demeter, I'm also just looking for stuff here. Oh, we were actually kind of close to being able to get this, but we're too fear away. So remember, whoever we don't take is going to get mad at us. I don't remember what... we definitely have seen Apollo get mad at us before. Maybe Demeter as well. I don't remember what they do, though. I was kind of waiting to pick up a cast until we saw Demeter. We passed on several other pretty solid casts in order to do that, so maybe it is worth going with her and seeing if we can get that here.
Good pick.
She says good pick. Oh, okay. That is good, because we do have... this is the infusion I was talking about before. We do have the 6 water boons, so it would be active. Means if we would take damage from a big hit, we take 10 less damage, and I think almost every hit at this point is going to deal at least 20 damage, so that is pretty useful. There is the cast. There is the extra freeze value. Both of these are incredible as well. Ideally, this would be higher rarity. If so, then maybe you could convince me, but I think we'll go this route. We'll hope for more Demeter later and maybe get some of those other ones.
We'll be able to resolve our differences more sensibly. But we're the gods and we're a family, damn it.
Not a lot of time to get more Demeter boons, but there is that aforementioned super shop.
Had to do it.
He blocked! How dare you? Okay, at least the Apollo stuff is pretty straightforward. It's clear where he's trying to attack us from. Doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to successfully avoid all of them, especially not as other enemies spawn in. But, in theory, it's pretty straightforward, especially not if I dash into them. So I do kind of need to a certain extent, linger to get rid of some of these guys, although I should be dropping hits. That's actually so weird, using the Apollo... the Apollo-infused Hex when Apollo is currently mad at us, and that's what helps us finish this encounter.
You were just messing with me back there, right? I normally can take a prank just fine, but we've all been a bit on edge.
Okay, so what do we get here? So we, once again, passed on the cast from, that time from Demeter. We do want to get one more fire boon. What does that one give us? We recover some of the damage we take. That would be very nice. I mean, everything is a fire boon here, so that's not really something that affects what we're... our decision here. Those with days take more damage if struck from behind. We were eyeing that before. I mean, if we were to get the cast and this, that could be very interesting. So then we have reason why Apollo later on could be meaningful as well. I mean, we were saying Demeter would mostly be for that cast. We do already have some form of daze, it's just that it only comes from our revenge boon right now, I believe. No, it comes from our attack as well, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. This is only area, no daze. Okay. Because don't love that in order to get damage, we need to get more damage, we have to take damage. If we were to get both of these, suddenly this becomes way better. Yeah, basically, we really would like one more thing before Backburner becomes a big factor. I think we take this, because it makes our attack much safer by making it possible for our attack to prevent enemies from dealing damage. So let's do it.
The force of fire.
Okay. Then, oh, okay. Checking for, all right, we saw that, can't take it. Definitely gonna go here. That previous room absolutely paid off, no question. We still have our 20 armor. We haven't taken any damage yet.
I have not seen you in some time. Perhaps you've been preoccupied with thwarting Typhon as he makes attempts to break into my brother's nigh impenetrable mountain palace.
Indeed.
That's a rather accurate assessment of my recent outings, yes. Typhon may appear to be invincible, but there's not a creature alive that likes repeatedly being struck in the face.
An age-old tactic that served well your predecessors in the greatest battles of their youth. I had a feeling that would be the case. In the end, little changes with time.
Okay, what do we see here? In your confrontation with Kronos, he summons fewer reinforcements. Some phases where that is helpful, although technically speaking, the more adds he summons, the more damage we can get from wherever that Hermes boon is. It gives us damage based on how many enemies we've killed in the past 45 seconds. I don't remember what it looks like, so it's there somewhere. Just trust me. Also don't remember what rarity it is, but it's there. Deal more damage based on how many times we've used a Death Defiance this night. We haven't used any yet. Whenever we use magic, summon 3 soul urns. Have we seen this before? So whenever we use 60 magic, which, I mean, we've kind of just been relying on our Hex to charge up without spending magic, although we really should be using charged attack for this, especially if we do further upgrade our attack. which we have recently done. So, I mean, 200 damage is a significant amount. Those... How exactly do they work? They do 200 damage. Vessels for enraged spirits. Destroy them to damage any foes surrounding them. I don't know if enemies can destroy them as well. They may be able to, which in some cases may be good, some cases may be bad. I think we might be going with this.
It is yours.
I had the choice of any boon from Hades. That probably wouldn't have been the one I picked, but still.
The monstrous hound of hell bears countless fangs as if to say, back off.
What are you talking about? He's all smiley. Definitely gonna let us pet him.
I'd rather keep my hand.
Or not. Okay. There's nothing else in there, and this is just a normal room.
They never learn.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Don't want to stand there. Ooh, don't mind me. No, rat man. Get back. Dazzling display indeed. A little bit trapped there. Please don't do that. Get back, sap, bro. There we go.
Let that be a lesson.
Indeed. Okay, so no rewards from that room. Ooh. I feel like, haven't we've for the most part avoided any and all mini-bosses on this floor. Which I think, you know, there's pretty good reason for doing that. I feel like we have done one, but I don't remember what it was. It might have been a super rat guy? Rat summoner? How much do we care about? I'm not sure this is worthwhile. I think we just proceed. Given the unknowns there. Given how I kind of have no idea how dangerous that is, and it could be very dangerous, I'm a little reluctant to go that route. Please don't block all of my attacks, bro. Nope. Almost walked into that. Excuse me. Oh. Okay. Where's the exit? Over here. Ooh, only one option. Yes. Okay, we did obviously pass on one potential room that would have given us rewards. Ooh, there's a whole lot of these guys in this room. Gonna be a whole lot of projectiles overall. It does seem like. Just like to do whatever I can to reduce that number as quickly as possible. Even if that's probably not my preferred place to drop that. That's the blocks. A little bit of a waste, but kind of to be expected. Some blocks were going to happen, given the number of things that I have to dodge in here. Please stop that. Please stop that. Okay. That is room with nothing. That is, again, a mini-boss. I am reluctant to do... I mean, I am noticing that some of the mini-bosses just have the skull. The one in the previous room also had, what was a scroll next to it. Oh, you know what that is? So, I was about to say, I'm not sure what that's all about. And trying to think of what that icon could refer to. At first, I think I had always thought, oh, it probably has something to do with plot. You know, it's a piece of writing. It's almost like a book. It has some sort of plot progression. But that isn't usually the case with mini-bosses, because they are technically optional, or at least you have an alternative. I think what it actually means is that refers to this is a mini-boss you have not yet defeated for prophecy completion purposes. So what that means is because this one does not have that icon next to it, but the other one did. We had not faced the other one before. This one we have, which is useful information because we have only fought, again, I think, just one of those mini-bosses on this floor. And I thought we were kind of pleasantly surprised by how it wasn't as hard as we expected it to be. So I'm a little tempted to do this.
Best keep your
Yep.
to yourself.
Oh, okay. You also do whatever that was. What if we can get rid of your armor, which we are somewhat close to being able to do. Whoa, that. Somewhat close to being able to do. Especially now. We might have just wasted a block on the tiny little rat there. But now, this is very straightforward. So, yeah, we blew through our last block and we took 1 damage to our armor. But we got an extra high rarity Apollo boon from that. Was it worthwhile?
In the name of Hades.
Let's see. Damage, at this point with this rarity, a significant amount of damage if we haven't taken any damage recently. What did we take for our most recent Apollo boon? Was it the one that gives us days with our attacks? Where is it? 15% chance to inflict days with attacks. So it is possible to get some nice synergies there. Still don't have the cast boon, so that would also be nice. Or the occasional 20% damage bonus, which if we still had all of our forms of immunity, all of our blocks, that would be really helpful. Technically, we do still have several that will be active for the Kronos fight, so it's not a horrible idea. This is perhaps even more optimistic, more aggressive than this is, to tell you the truth. Otherwise, basic boon, the way we had to pick up. The fire boons don't matter for infusion purposes. We're actually close to reaching 6 air boons. This would give us 6, which I assume is the threshold for an air infusion, although I don't know what that does or who gives it, so that is extremely speculative. But if we're looking for a tiebreaker, maybe it's, I mean, that is also the highest rarity option. Oh, a compellable shade.
Join me.
Oh, this is a fast one. I think I actually prefer them that way, to be honest. Oh, if we complete it without taking damage, we get extra Selene stuff. That could actually be extremely valuable. Do the blocks count as us taking damage? Does mitigating damage with armor count as us taking damage? I feel like it might be worth trying.
The satyrs and the vermin at their call once lurked in the upper reaches of the underworld, making profane preparations for the Titan Lord's return.
Those satyrs belong here more than they know.
So, we've only done a few of these, and we have not had the best of success with them. And generally, one would think, the earlier the floor, the easier it is to just avoid taking damage altogether. So, I would usually just say, there's no way we can succeed at this on this floor. But with all of our freeze stuff, maybe. Oh no. I don't know what those things mean. What I do know
One last chamber.
is that he's making it such that I cannot see him. I'm gonna do that. I mean, technically, traps have deactivated. Oh, he occasionally creates fire on the ground. Okay, well, I see that now. Oh, there's Selene in the next room? Okay, if I had realized that, then I would probably not have bothered to take this. kind of just waiting for the hexes to do the heavy lifting for us. To be honest, as it feels like the safest way. Which was such an opportunity for me to jinx that. Does he lose his abilities after he loses his armor? I'm not sure. I don't remember. We've not fought many enemies who have the bonus abilities. I mean, we've done this before. If you doubt my commitment to slowly grinding this out, the Scylla fight should tell you all you need to know. Okay, this guy can lunge forward and do fairly aggressive attack that way. Don't let that surprise you. Oh, I thought I had the hex back. I didn't? Oh, it's about to be back. Okay. Ooh, I got stuck there. That was almost very bad. I forgot that these give you this sort of super enemy of sorts. Don't love that our special is not locking onto him when he's invisible / in the smoke cloud. Just want to get rid of his armor, because once we do, he is stunnable. Then this becomes a different story, I do believe. Didn't really want to have to do that. He's occasionally invulnerable to damage as well, I'm realizing. Don't know how that's working. Or is it just that he's immune to he's immune to his own fire that he creates on the ground? I think is what that's coming from. It's just appearing when he walks over that. I don't know if that means he's technically immune to any attack when he's standing over his fire, including ours. Would love if our hex charged up a little more quickly than this, of course. I almost took damage from the trap, potentially. That did not do the damage I was looking for it to do. That was specifically in an attempt to use magic more quickly. We haven't done much of that. There we go. I feel like we might even be sometimes using the hex when he's standing on one of his fire lava puddles, whatever you want to call them, and that may be in part what is causing him to take less damage than I would like him to take. So close to being armorless. Might be armorless now, but now is not the time to lose composure. He still has armor. Ooh, that was close. Okay, now I believe he is armorless. Which means he is technically stunnable. Which means we may be able to get more aggressive with it. Oh, we've spent enough magic that we've created those Hades items on the ground. Over here. Which have theoretically just dealt damage to him. I wish he had a life bar like the mini bosses that showed up at the top. He's got to lunge at us as well. That was closer than I would have liked it to have been. Is he immune when he's in his smoke cloud? I keep on seeing the icon suggesting that he is not taking damage. I do think our special is actually still the primary source of damage here. Perhaps even more so than our hex is, which I did see we just got back. He's almost down. One moment. Good sir. There we go. I just didn't want to put all that time and effort into it, only to then botch it at the very end, which is why I was continuing to play very safe there. So there we go. We get the extra Cellini, which is big, because we were saying a while back that 3 more gets us up here. Now that does make it cost even more, but it gives us way more damage. Or alternatively, get more power first time it deals damage and or it lasts for longer. What do we get along the way here? More power the longer it lasts? I think we're still doing this. It just means that we're going to have to be a little braver when it comes to spending the magic. I was hoping that we might see... Do we have some stuff here, maybe, that charges it up more every second? Okay, so we see Cellini in the next room, it seems. So I'm thinking we go 1, 2, 3 here, and then next room is going to be 1, 2, and 3. Charging up... Oh no, that's not automatic charge up. That just, it becomes stronger over time. Okay, so we're not going to get the Hex very often. But it's going to be strong when it is there.
Such terrifying might.
We are definitely going to do this. If we didn't go into this room, then you could have probably made the case for going with the other option. Please don't do that. We also had the dodge chance from the Echo, which is another thing that I'm not sure how that interacts with that encounter we were just doing. But maybe that it was a little safer than we were giving it credit for. Once again, game, I mean, that time it didn't punish us at all, but the game moved me in the opposite direction that I was telling it to go. Just out of nowhere. Ooh, hello. See the mini shop. May be interested in getting stuff from it, depending on what it is offering, because we are getting very close to the super shop now, which may be our top priority, of course. Did expect to see some of these guys, or another wave at least. There's the big hex. That is, once again, that time it dashed us in the opposite direction, and that was almost very bad. Any enemies still over here? No? Dashed me in the wrong direction there as well. On the skull dudes, couldn't really see you before, which is why I didn't want to continue going after you. Wasn't sure if you were about to launch that spear at me. But there we go, no damage taken. It's 5 from this one. Oh, snap. Okay, well that's pretty sweet. That means we can definitely get you. Big burst of damage at the beginning. Lasts for longer. More damage the longer it goes, and I think that is probably going to be what we want. I mean, we're getting all... Oh, we haven't taken this yet. I completely forgot. Okay, well, obviously we want this going into the Kronos fight. No question. Okay, so then we have 2 left. I do think we want this, because we have the extra duration, so it is more valuable than it would have otherwise been. Then it's either armor, well, even more armor while it's happening, or extra damage once we use it for the rest of the encounter. I don't think we have that many of those. We have at least 1. We just saw there. Okay, we have a few, but we have several. Okay, I think we go that route, because for the Kronos fight, it doesn't stack, but still, 5% damage that will be active for most of the fight. Oh, what is very useful, and okay, well, now we're getting everything. Now we have more points than we can use. I, you know, kind of forgot about that. Suppose...
Thanks, little one.
We had it upgraded enough. It was only a matter of time before it procced, and that would have usually been a very good way for it to proc, getting Cellini value, except that, well, we didn't need that much. This wouldn't be a bad thing at this stage after you use magic, restore it over 3 seconds, up to a total of 500. I mean, going into the Kronos fight, that could be helpful. That will probably still be active, and it only costs 10. This one may mean that we avoid the damage from his first hit, even if we're still at full health. It's at least not dealing damage, so this is losing 25 coins. There is a non-zero chance that 25 coins will be the difference between us being able to afford the most expensive things at the upcoming shop and us not being able to afford them, but that is a risk that I'm going to take. Okay, and this is our only option for the next room. It's okay, we just got more than, oh dear, more than that much gold just from opening up that gold urn. Okay, pardon me, this is going to be a little distracting. Gonna need to concentrate a bit, because there are, once again, a bazillion enemies in this room, and the game is once again insisting on sending me in the opposite direction that I'm trying to tell it to send me in. Stop that. I do wish the cast had something going for it so that I could at least do that sort of set it and forget it, drop the cast every once in a while, and then run off in another direction just for relatively passive damage, but that's not really a factor at the moment. I do have this, though. I do also have a few spears that are headed straight toward me. Little less chaotic now. When these guys were all also mini bosses, or they were armored versions, almost all of them. None of that. None of that nonsense. None of that nonsense, please. There we go. Okay. We didn't take any damage. I'm not sure if we used any of our remaining defensive layers for that. Oh. Oh. Okay, now this is an interesting question. This is a super gold room with all of our bonus gold. Otherwise, it's going straight into the super shop. And we already have over 2,000 gold. I think we do it. I think we go for it. Oop, it's not quite what I was looking for. Come on. Please actually hit him. Thank you. Oh, you know what? You were just hanging out over there, not paying any attention to me. I kind of would have preferred to have kept it that way, in hindsight. One of you. This is definitely not going to be the last wave, though. What with these? Yeah, there you go. What with those guys not being champion versions? Did you at least make the room a little more manageable? Just do this. Oh, because, yep, there were still more enemies that had yet to spawn in, and in hindsight, I would have saved that hex for these guys. I kind of thought that I was just finishing off the room with the hex. Got rid of a little more of the enemies. Also, kind of trying not to use magic on this room so we get the full. Oh. What was... That was one of our forms of... Oh, that was the shop item activating there. Okay. Yeah, I really would have liked to have had that active for Kronos fight. So that's what I was trying to do, was just finish the room like that. This is 990 gold. So, the thought was, if there was any chance of us not being able to afford everything at the shop, it should now be possible. And now that the shop item, at least the one that healed us instead of us taking damage, is no longer on the table, maybe there isn't that much to lose from going with triple palm, which I'm not entirely sure what we want this to land on, but it has, certainly. some potential value as we find ourselves in another extremely crowded room in which the primary objective is just to make things a little less crowded as quickly as possible. So it becomes a little more manageable to make any sense out of the various enemies and attacks that we are seeing here. I am not actually sure if that hit us. It seemed like it ought to have, yet we did not seem to take any damage. I'm definitely using that. I'm not sure, yeah. Given how there were armored enemies, I didn't think there was going to be a second wave. Alright. So triple palm on the attack boon is not bad. Give our attack boon way more chance to apply. Daze is also not bad, but I think we might go with the straightforward option here. Yes, this does have the domino effect of making it easier to then get the backstab bonus damage, wherever that one is. This, no, not that one. The other Apollo one. But I think we keep it simple for this. We still have more choices. We can set the world record for the most... I mean, it's not going to be a world record for the most gold, but at this point, surely, we've already seen, this should give us about 990 gold. Maybe some from just defeating the enemies as well, so we should be over 4,000 gold, and at that point, I mean, if we're actually trying to do the math, usually, as I was saying, just want the gold number to stay up there. The most expensive item is a crafting item that usually costs over 1,000 gold. So that's a sizable chunk, but that's certainly not... We could still afford that. That's not an issue. But then there are usually several boons, of which many of them are, at least one, if not two of them, are usually higher rarity and therefore more expensive. So those are a few hundred. So in terms of the total cost across those things, it could be over 2,000. I don't know if it would ever be over 3,000, but there is actually a chance that we cannot quite afford everything at the shop. If we did this, we absolutely could. So you know what? We're doing it. In part to see, oh my gosh, in part to see if there are also any, oh my goodness, if there are any other bonuses of any variety in this room, like that little extra gold that we totally needed. Oh my god. I don't know where to hide. Because there is no place to hide. Oh. Nope. Okay, got rid of many. Oh, I was dodging in the opposite direction and it just never happened. What the heck? Just never applied. Okay, that's also really frustrating. I mean, that, of course, we were tempting fate by continuing to take on additional enemies. Oh, also, I should absolutely be doing this. I was also kind of stalling for that. Did not hit as many enemies as I would have liked that to have hit. So yeah, we got a little bit punished in this case. And perhaps deservedly so for our hubris. So it broke through our armor. We did get 990 gold from it. We did get some extra
I can use this
marble for it, which we maybe didn't really need. Oh, we got an extra proc of this. Okay, we can definitely afford everything now. So yeah, we lost most of our armor. We may have lost some of our dodge chance, which I'm curious from Echo. I'm curious how much of that we still have remaining, if we can see that, if any at all. It have the number on it, or is it just completely gone now? It might be completely gone now. If so, then that obviously would have been valuable in the Kronos fight. Currently, it's still 38. Okay. So this is the super shop. No choice now but to go in here and... Okay. This is possibly the worst combination of things we could have seen, at least in terms of getting value for our crazy amount of money, because we don't need to buy a Charon card. We would have much rather seen an extremely expensive crafting resource and earned a Charon card in the process. I mean, this is probably going to give us 2, because we're going to spend 600 along the way. I mean, first, I guess we'll take these on the off chance they have something that will enhance the effectiveness of these guys, but it's unlikely. Because there's a Charon card right there. Yeah, we still didn't have a cast, so we can take the secondary cast boon, but we should probably take the primary cast boon. Gain a little bit of healing right now with the Mystery Seed. I mean, that's not really necessary. We're on full life. So yeah, getting a freezing cast. This is the thing we were waiting forever to get. We do have a reroll for what it's worth, but I think we are fine taking this. The only thing that would be better would potentially be the rarity, but it's rare. It's not epic, but that's okay. Here, this is possibly the best remaining boon from Aphrodite. Our weak is coming from our dodge. That's not bad either. Defensive versus offensive. We have enough magic that I feel okay about priming some. I know we primed a whole lot early, but then we're about to pick up more magic, right? Isn't there a double magic item right next to this that we're about to buy? So I think we take this. Yeah. Then we take you.
I can do this.
We'll take you. We basically get back the armor that we lost and then some. Can we get bonus Charon cards from the Poseidon upgrade? I doubt it. But there you go. Double Charon card. Huzzah! So one is from the item that we purchased, and the other was we also reached a 1,000 gold spending threshold at the same time.
Salutations.
Charon, not gonna lie. Pretty disappointed with your stock there. Would have much rather seen Nightmare or Shadow, you know, some high rarity crafting resource, or just more of the really high rarity boons rather than, you know, double magic is not terribly exciting. So, okay. We still have practically 4,000 gold, even after spending all that. So, we still have a lot of dodge, which is nice. We have a ton of backstab damage. If I can actually... Oh, and we upgraded our attack big time. Okay. So yeah, our attack is very good. Our special is... Ooh, did this get upgraded? The rarity? It may have gotten upgraded from... Not this one. From the Demeter boon that upgrades rarity of boons after several floors, or rather, several rooms. So that's not bad. And backstab is king.
Refreshing.
He does have extra health, and these enemies have the extra shields, which is a little annoying. We also have the extra damage at the beginning of the encounter, which is important.
Typhon from that mountaintop. Certainly it was not something that you could have done alone, yet still, how proud you must have felt.
I mean, I'm not gonna let you detract from that.
I felt a tinge of satisfaction, yes. But you do know what's an even greater feeling than thwarting the father of all monsters, don't you?
Beating you up?
If you insinuate that besting me in battle is a thrill akin to overcoming the great despoiler of Olympus, then you flatter me, my girl. Go on and try, even as Typhon stirs.
Alright. Okay, so attack him aggressively early. We have bonus damage at the beginning. That's not the enemy that I was trying to backstab. Okay, I feel like just spamming the attack button is actually the correct answer, although I think our bonus period is now probably over. Maybe now I'll go after your... Or I'll attempt to go after your friends. This... not in a great spot for it, not gonna lie to you. Would normally be a fantastic opportunity to backstab you. Did spawn another one of these guys. We do have the Hex. Not sure what the best timing on that is going to be honest with you. We could do it now. I feel like we wait for the next phase. Because otherwise he's gonna shield stuff. Or he's gonna, you know, mitigate much of that damage. I was trying to dodge out of the way, but I was stuck in the previous animation. I knew that one was coming. I did recognize that time that was the attack he was about to use.
Here, I insist.
Ooh, that was close. Is he capable of... Oh, this is giving him the shield threat. I don't think he's yet capable of doing double attacks. He's close to it once he gets this next phase. He does not quite reach, despite how that would almost have given that perception of attack. Whoop. There we go. Now, double attacks. That is also what I was waiting for to do this. That did a ton of damage to him. Wow. Okay, so we can do double attacks now. 1, 2, or triple, for that matter. I saw that was the attack incoming again. I must have dodged in the wrong direction. That was greed. Did you say Odysseus? That backstab is huge. Make no mistake. Your rat friends are really annoying, though. He says, as you make more rats, that was bad. There we go. Okay, phase 1 down. And only took a tiny bit of damage there. Now, okay, get ready to maybe do this, and then run. Oh, look at that! Wow, that was incredible. Okay, we'll take that. I always mess up this phase. And this. So he's already, of course, now at his second phase because I've made him very angry by timing that cast in the way that I did. Or not the cast, the Hex, rather. Okay. This one, you go, oops. Okay, not a fan of that. Or that. That was closer than I would have liked it to have been. Trying to get rid of these guys, because they are, I think, capable of doing some fancy schmancy stuff. Okay, now he's just clock hands. Hello. I do have the Hex back. Will that use? Ow. I would love to drop the cast on you right now, or the Hex on you right now. Wow. Okay. We still had armor.
You are never a daughter of mine, that you would deign to treat me thus.
So, that might be our best Chronos run ever. The Hex, we fully upgraded it. And boy, did it do work. And timing that, so you had just enough time, you could drop it in front of him, then run over to the particular clock number you're supposed to go to, and while he's just standing still, we got rid of half his health, which was incredible, and then dropped it again, even though the first time we did it in the second phase, it did have the bonus effect from Apollo. The second time in this phase, I don't think it did, and yet it still did a humongous chunk of damage. And that is why I really like this Hex. When it gets fully upgraded, at least, it becomes incredibly good.
For what you did to this house.
And the backstab damage, once we finally actually broke it out with the attack in particular, it was a really big deal. So it did come together decisively so, I suppose. Really? Alright, I mean, we'll take it, sure. The Z-Sand, again, I'm confused as to what is happening with this resource, because I am fairly certain that I read in the patch notes that it's going away. That it's going to automatically be exchanged for prestige. I thought that should have already been the case, but as you just saw, we have 8. So we're still holding on to them. And I suspect that at least once the true ending is complete, and I assume that's going to happen once the full game is released, because we're getting this sort of abbreviated ending where it just forces us to go back down to the crossroads, or back up, I suppose, from this side. But I assume that we're probably going to need 10 successful runs in either direction to get that true ending, and with 8 of the Zodiac Sand, we might have already spent one. That means we have at least 8, maybe 9 successful runs going down. I think it's only 3 going up against Typhon. Obviously, we haven't had as much time going to the surface, and we also have not had quite as much of a success rate there, but either way, we'll take it.
Not to know what happened to the terrifying princess of the underworld. The time shall come when all shall be made clear.
Because that may have been our best run going down thus far.
Return to Shadow now.
And I just remembered, I think that was our highest fear run ever as well. So that's saying something in that case.
The fates were on my side.
It's easy to forget that when much of the fear was coming from the 2 rival fights at the beginning, but that's one of the benefits of getting through. And remember when we defeated the new Scylla with 2 life remaining? I mean, sure, as it turned out, we didn't need that Death Defiance, but nonetheless.
Glad to be back here with you. But it's a new night now.
Nonetheless, that meant that we finished the run with no Death Defiances used. That was the case with previous run as well, although this time also still had armor, that has to be a first.
Have you ever even spoken with Commander Skelemius, Dora? Or Odysseus? We have these great masters on our side who know so much of history, so much they can teach us.
History? That what they call it nowadays? Well, I don't have big plans to go to war with the rest of you anytime soon, though if I change my mind, I'll probably check in with those guys.
Alright.
They're good people.
Yeah, something tells me Dora just doesn't really care too much. Isn't bothered all that much by the other things going on. She's just chilling over there. Oh? What do we have here? I mean, we are, if in fact it requires you to get 10 successful runs to get the true ending. Again, I don't think that exists yet, but that would mean we're getting pretty close for the downward direction. Maybe to the point where some people are going to start to talk about some things that suggest we're getting close.
The shades around here. I know they've been avoiding you, Lord Moros. Some are filled with fear, others with contempt. You ended their lives?
It's a tough subject.
For me to decide why a mortal's life should suddenly be cut short. But I did get to choose the how of it. Knowing the future could be monotonous work, so my sisters and I tried to keep things interesting.
Yeah, no, that's... like, your tone of voice makes that sound normal. That is not normal, man. That's pretty messed up.
You brought misery to mortals because you were bored.
Yeah, because that's what you're saying.
I'm not proud of it. Especially not when you put it that way. And I regret I've caused dissension in your ranks.
I'll handle it.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up, man.
Interesting.
Okay. So what is this? Valued customer, let's combine the words god and daughter. The daughter of the god of the dead shall purchase each of the various goods sometimes offered in the Well of Charon. I feel like there are still ones that we have not gotten, but we'll take it. It's a bunch of Psyche.
My brother Charon is committed to this realm.
Which I'm not entirely sure that we have much of a use for at this stage, but okay. Oh, you can get a lot of nightmare from finishing these. Yeah, like locating the 3 fates. Is that what's gonna happen when we defeat Kronos for the 10th time? That's what I'm wondering. That seems like the most obvious major plot point that may happen at that potentially notable threshold. Reach the lowest depths with the aspect of hell. Unfortunately, well, we did just use this, but we succeeded going up. If only we had flipped it around and used the blades going up and the aspect of hell going down. Interesting. Okay, so, you know, that's also something that we could benefit from, is taking a little bit of a closer look at some of these these prophecies that we haven't necessarily gone out of our way to farm. Well, we know what this means, in all likelihood at least. Yep. Eris is here. Joy.
You've such disdain for what we're trying to achieve. You act as though nothing was lost. Don't you want to see Nyx again? Or Thanatos?
Don't I want to see my mother again, or brother number I have no idea?
I mean, you're not wrong.
No, they were even more stuck up than you. No offense.
How can you say such things about your relatives? Were they crueler to you than this?
Nyx always wanted things her way. Why should she, or anybody, have that kind of power over me? Because she made me? She didn't ask my permission, and I don't need hers.
Alright.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Not seeing many other people. Oh, were those shades following us? They might have been.
I missed the tent.
I was gonna say, as I was mentioning before, Dora doesn't seem to get out very much. We just go, you know, not even far in the crossroads. And she goes, yep, nope, not for me. Okay.
Showed that wretch again.
We did. We also have some stuff
Smells delicious.
to pick up here, some morsels. So one moment. There was some talk of, yes. Oh, a new recipe, potentially along the lines of Dissolution of Time, except for Typhon. Now, I don't expect us to suddenly get that revealed upon defeating Kronos. We probably would need to defeat Typhon again for that to appear, but... Or maybe our next conversation with Hecate would reveal it, because she'd kind of alluded to it before. But you, the next round of rivals revealed, it would require Tears, which we get from Cerberus, and the Feather, which we get from Prometheus, which makes sense, because those would be the people who would get upgraded with it, become more powerful. I'm not especially keen on making them more difficult as well. Especially not on the, like, maybe Cerberus. I do think the base Cerberus fight is usually fairly easy, so probably still some room for it to become more difficult, and it feels like we have some margin for error in that fight. But, you know, you factor in the more difficult fights leading up to it, and that's still a bit of a challenge. On the surface, though, Polyphemus challenge fight, the rival fight, no thank you. If I could skip that, and instead just have the more difficult, air quotes, rival Eris fight, and maybe also try out this new Prometheus fight with skipping the alternate, sorry, I'm mixing up Prometheus and Polyphemus. I want to see the Prometheus one, but I would like to skip the Polyphemus one. That's not an option, though, unfortunately. I mean, we'll pick this up. It does cost us most of our remaining tears, but we'll take it nonetheless.
Upon my birthright, I command the dark to aid my task, and with me find my mark.
So mote it be?
So mote it be.
Indeed. So what I'm saying is, yes, obviously we did just test out the new rival Scylla fight, but that might be my limit. I may not be interested in trying out the next round of those rivals, and I don't know if you can get a rival of the final boss on each floor. I definitely don't feel like I'm ready for that.
Each of the two great enemies we face, you have laid low, one after the other. Thus, we begin to take the upper hand.
I mean, are you just saying this because we have beaten Typhon before, and we have beaten Kronos on the previous run, or are you saying this specifically because we beat Typhon the previous time we went to the surface, and we beat Kronos the most recent time we went to the underworld? This might be the first time we've taken them out each in a row.
I may be able to beat Kronos or Typhon in a fight, but at times I feel as though I've come no closer to stopping either of them. It's reassuring you think otherwise.
I more than think. You've demonstrated that you have the strength and knowledge to complete your task. As to whether you have the patience, that we shall have to see.
Indeed. We shall see.
Then.
Did it again.
Indeed.
Found yourself a phantom lair in the fields, if my shades down there are still to be believed. Blood-sucking bastards. The phantoms, not the shades.
Not sure what you're referring to.
Don't such creatures usually stalk the surface in their search of living prey? They must go rather hungry in the underworld.
Is this the guy who the mini-boss who we often refer to as the vampire?
Better that than burn under the break of day, or so they figure, probably. Well, you know what they're after next you meet again.
They won't get it.
Hey. Alright. I think we were waiting until we had more Charon cards to do this. We picked up a lot. We could have picked up even more had Charon been a little more cooperative in the final shop. But we will definitely do this. And then I think we have some fishies we can cash in.
Here you are.
That actually gets us just barely above 1,000, which means we could afford to purchase another Nightmare, which I think more or less whenever you get the chance it's worth doing, since there's a limit of one
I'll take the special
per run, and there's a whole bunch of Nightmare that you can spend on aspect upgrades. We could even still afford some Nectars, which, as we were kind of saying before, is something that we've been lagging behind on a bit, and we can only purchase one of these per run as well. You know what? Let's do it. It's cheap enough. I feel like we might as well. We might even gift that to Dora, I think, if we were trying to pick the friend who is the closest to giving us something. Come on, Cerberus, just let us pet you. Or... oh. Or Hades, except that he's not interested. Why don't we give a nectar to Kronos, right? That seems like a good idea. Is anyone one spot... Hades is the only one who's one spot away from giving us something, although it seems like he works a little bit differently. Eris, Prometheus, Hypnos, Chaos. What about the Unseen? I think is the category she would fall into. Everyone require this? Well, oh, right, because we've already done the bathhouse with Dora. Or the pool, whatever it's referred, the hot spring with Dora. If we do this one, then maybe the Taverna or the fishing pier might be available next. Oh, similarly with the Moros. And maybe, oh, actually, Odysseus, it tells us fishing pier after that. That may be worth pursuing, because we may have some of the fishing items already available to us. So let's gift to you. Oh, we don't. Okay, well, we can potentially pick it up.
Well, would you look at that? How could I possibly say no? It seems you found my weakness here, Goddess.
The great tactician has no weaknesses, I'm sure. Though he does now have an extra bottle of nectar.
Hey. Friendship.
Hey.
Can we theoretically afford to purchase one of these? Not quite. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Speaking of which, no. Okay. On the off chance that someone was hanging out over there, we can have a little bit of this. That's almost ready, but not quite. I think we did pick up a decent number of these, if I recall. Yeah, some mystery seeds in particular.
Live and thrive.
I'll watch that one.
And this is the big one that you can only get from the summit. That's why, even after doing a maximum length run, it still isn't ready to go. Okay, I think that's... oh, is that everything? Wait. Was this always here? I don't remember this. How long has this been here for?
What was forgotten shall be feared again.
Is this new? That is, I'm pretty sure, Hades. That statue. Okay.
Halfway to Night's Gift.
Anything new here? Yeah, one thing I want to check.
More to the Vow of Rivals now.
We have a new tier for the Vow of Rivals. Does it give more with each upgrade. Gives +2, gives +3, then it gives +3 again. So it'd be 11 just from this alone. Well, actually, hold on. Just from the Vow of Rivals, you would get 9. Which would be still the highest we've ever done. Oh, wait, what? No, it'd be 8. There we go. Still the highest we've ever done, or tied for the highest we've ever done.
For the will of night.
We may very well have some more resources that we could cash in here for upgrades, although maybe we'll wait for our next run to decide where, if anywhere, it is worth spending those.
Way to stick it to that Kronos guy.
Thank you.
Halfway to victory, kiddo. But to earn the gifts of the Veil, one must conquer the underworld and the surface realms upon a fearful night, each in turn. You up for it?
So when he says halfway there, he means specifically with that challenge with the high fear runs, which we just completed for the underworld, but we now need to do it for the surface as well. And throwing in Supergiant's favorite line, in turn. In this case, not only is it annoying because it's a line that Supergiant likes to drop any and everywhere, but it legitimately is kind of misleading or slash at least raising questions. Do I need to do them consecutively? I don't think so, but you're almost implying that.
For the glory of the underworld and the everlasting rule of night, I would do everything in my ability. Whether that makes me worthy of the gifts of the Veil, I know not.
Come on, what kind of attitude is that? You did the underworld already, now you just gotta do the surface, and the gifts are yours. First one of them, at least. Come on, do it.
Okay.
So that would be these guys.
The gifts of the Veil. I'm glad you're out of Tartarus at last.
Oh. Seem kind of angry. Oh, that is actually a little bit of a unique looking shade there. Seems like a very... It's a scarf. Just the way that he's leaning over like that. Is a scarf very heavy? That looks uncomfortable. Might need a new scarf. Alright, well, anyway, I do think this is the right time for us to wrap things up, but another successful run, a long run, in part because we had several encounters that we were doing in the slowest but safest possible way. I mean, it meant that we finished the run with no Death Defiances used and armor remaining at the time we defeated the final boss, which is insane. So maybe we had some pieces that we didn't really use as aggressively as we could have, but then we broke them out against Kronos and we saw, okay, we did in fact have a very powerful run. But as I was saying, heads up that we may switch over to Chaos Trials fairly soon. Either way, thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.